Time Alphas. It's your boy Zel, and I'm with
Classic Ruby. I know y'all missed us so much. What's up? What's good? What's happening this lovely Thursday evening? I know. I told y'all last Monday we'd be back that Thursday, like in 3 days, with like a full show. I did. I lied. However, then we skipped that Thursday. We skipped, but now we are here with a full show, y'all. We are officially ready to be back in full effect. And I know for sure y'all are gonna love today's show. Listen, we might not have been here last Thursday, but I'm telling y'all, okay, I put in work. Some of us put in work. I'm not gonna say all of us put in the same amount of work, but I put in work, okay? These videos are like docu-series, docu-dramas, okay? I'm telling y'all, listen, y'all are gonna be super happy you are here. And I see how much y'all must have missed us, because there's a lot. Man, y'all showed up in full of force in the chat already. Damn, Zel, how you doing today?
I am blessed, highly favored. Looking forward to the show because we got crazy news topics. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Ruby made fun of one of my stories, so I kind of cut it. So I went with a shorter story. It was about a pigeon, a baby pigeon, and a drug addict man. But that's for a story for another day.
And what happened to the other 3 stories? Anyway, that's not the point. That is not the point. Okay. Shout out, salutations. I see we got our mob with the mostest in the chat. Shout out to Char Willie, of course. Right? I saw Roslyn, I saw Mama Rubes, I saw Martin here with the first status, of course. I saw Don Teasy up in the chat. Who else did I see? I know I saw someone else. Y'all listen, y'all have made coming back amazing. Okay, I gotta say, like, this is the reason why we're here. We are here to provide y'all with entertainment and excellence, and we are so thankful that you are here for our grand comeback, right? Grand comeback?
Yeah, grand comeback. Ruby said she don't work on her birthday month, so y'all heard.
Y'all, listen, I was trying not to listen. I told y'all. I warned y'all. I warned all of y'all. I don't work on my birthday until my birthday season was over. Apparently, it couldn't work. But it's okay. I'm back. I'm out of burnout now, right? Listen, y'all will see the masterpieces I created for you today. You'll be like, oh, thank God Ruby got that break, because woo, she's back and better than ever. I'm just saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, but we do have some good stories for you, but we got the first story of the day. Come from this guy, kind of escaped convict. It's kind of big in the news, so we had to cover it ourselves. So let's get right into it.
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing.
Have you ever wondered how escaped criminals survive and what they do? Today we got a story that kind of explains that. Escaped murderer Danilo Cavalcante survived only on watermelon for 2 weeks, hid poop under leaves, and revealed just how close cops came to catching him. Let's go watch this story. Shout out to New York Post. Let's go watch this a little bit. Again, shout out to the New York Post for that. Let's go read some. Captured criminal Danilo Cavalcante told cops he survived nearly 2 weeks on stolen watermelon, and that officers scouring heavy Pennsylvania underbushes for him had gotten so close they nearly stepped on him 3 times. The 34-year-old convicted killer was brutally honest after he was apprehended Wednesday morning, sharing how he even buried the poop to avoid getting tracked. U.S. Marshal Robert Clark told News Nation he did say on 3 occasions law enforcement officers did almost step on him. They were about 7 to 8 yards. Calvin Gundy, who escaped Chester County Prison on August 31st, has been sentenced to life to stabbing his girlfriend to death in front of his 2 young children in 2021. And there's some pictures of him and everything. Listen, this story is insane. That dude looks crazy, right? He looks insane. He looks like he's out of his mind. Yo, but you wonder how you survive and how you do it, because they are real. It's a mad chase to gag, right? So you wonder how do escape criminals get away? Man, this man had it planned out. He had to poop, hide the poop, eat watermelon, stolen watermelon, and just chill. He was going, I read reports that he was going to get a gun and start just like holding people up and doing all kind of things. He's going to try to get to the Canadian border. Let's see if they talk about this here. We believe that he was brutally honest. He described things such as hiding his fecal matter under leaves so he couldn't detect them. When asked how he changed his appearance while on the lam is such a weird word for police, who became clean shaven overnight, said a backpack he had stolen contained a single razor. Giving a criminal a razor is crazy. Convicts also told police that he had not been captured. He soon planned to use the firearm that he had stolen from someone's garage to flee the country. Oh yeah, I did read that, so I was correct. I just want to make sure that I had written that right. They caught him. They finally got him. They busted him open. We don't like to show we don't show blood here. I'll be that news, even though we kind of got there. He intended to carjack somebody in the community and head north to Canada. He's going to Canada, Ruby. He's going to Canada. Coming. He was coming to see you. No, we wouldn't let him get up there. America, United States. The border, y'all think he could have got out? Y'all thought he would have let him get through the border? Come, I'm just being honest. We are the United States, baby. We not letting no dude. Maybe you think he had to cut the dread though. He would have to cut the dread. He did shave though. He would have to cut the dread. He was, like he said, he became clean shaven overnight. He had not been captured. He soon planned to use the firearm. We talked about that. We talked about that. Caliban was finally captured Wednesday morning when he tried to escape a Belgian Malconist canine named Yoda. Shout out to the Yoda. Yoda out here doing work. Who sank his teeth into the killer and pinned him to the ground, leaving him bloody. Yo, them canine dogs, they be going. This is an interesting story because it's always a thought, right? How do you escape prison? What do you do? They don't usually get away with it. So it's always interesting to see a dude like that try to get away with getting around the system. So I'm always curious about that. Let me know your thoughts, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Ruby, Zel, we back, baby. Let's go.
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing.
Listen, my man was going to Canada. Ruby, how was you preparing?
Listen, okay, I'm gonna tell all of y'all, cause I see Shara up in the chat and she trying to be like, all right, we'll do. Listen, okay, if he had arrived in Canada, we were the ones who caught him, we would have him fixed. Okay, our recidivism rate is way lower than y'all's. Okay. However, I say to all y'all Americans, keep y'all's mess in y'all's country. That's right. Okay, Canadian awesome prison for Canadians only. Huh? How about that? No, but for real. No, it did. I thought Rosalind's question was interesting. Were they cheering him on? Because it did actually seem that way to me. It seemed like they were cheering, like, when you cheer for someone, it's not that you're happy they got caught, but you're like, dude, you did a good job. That was a good effort, right? It did seem like they were kind of giving him the good effort applaud. What do you think about that? Because it seemed like it to me. It did.
That man was hiding poop underneath the ground and hiding it, and almost got stepped on by the police 3 times while he's on the floor. My man put in that work. My man said he had work to do. So he put in that work. He tried to get away. Hey, I don't know, man. They were cheering him about him getting captured because the police was bringing him into the police station. But some people might have been good effort. You'll never know. It's some good efforts out there. Like, hey, my boy, you did everything you could not to get caught. We respect the try.
Right? 50 effort. Shout out to Mr. DJ Music. Thanks for coming. He says he looks like Richard Ramirez. That's you're talking about the killer guy, right? Because I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his crime, but I remember he's a killer guy, right? Like some killer young man. What did he do? Do you remember? I don't know. But I know who you're talking about, and because I actually did, it clicked in for me also. So
I think I heard that name. That name does sound familiar.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to look it up later. But no, I'm pretty because I know who you're talking about. I don't remember what his crime is, but I know exactly who you're referring to, and I'm like, yeah, that is pretty dead on. But hey, listen, okay. I think up next, what we got to talk about. We're gonna talk about people who've been escaping the law from time. I think we got to talk about this next person who has been capitalizing on, I'm going to say, borderline criminal behavior for way too long. And while we were gone, y'all, she finally got caught. Or rather, one of her kids finally escaped. Tell the tale. Let's take a listen to this one.
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your K-O-B. You about to
something Kevin and I have done with our children that is actually working really well.
Really won't get anything for summer. I won't be able to go anywhere. I don't have any friends. No iPads, no TV, nothing.
And no, I have no friends.
You can play with friends.
No, I don't have friends.
I don't have friends either.
I literally...
And they're not anybody's children but mine and Kevin's, and we are doing a really good job of listening to them.
In my experience, I'm gonna be honest, my parents haven't really given me space, and that's been...
Do you want to know the number one most triggering thing Kevin and I have ever talked about? It is not sex, and it is not politics, and it is not religion. If you want to get people really riled up in social media, you start talking about responsibility. It's like the R word. People don't like to hear it. And we are actually training our children to be ready for the real world. We've been accused of not training them for the real world. Actually, we are. And I think...
just because we shield them from distractions, we're being told that we're not preparing them for the real world.
I think that there is a lot of fear that is coming because the viewer actually isn't. If you are one of those people who has commented hate because we're not preparing our children for the real world, I think the truth is yours. One comment once explaining how I expect our children to live out on their own outside of the house after they're 18 and after they've graduated from high school, I was accused of abuse. It's abuse to expect your children to be responsible,
to grow up and be productive adults.
You guys, it's crazy, ridiculous how people are so scared of responsibility. It really does freak me out just a little bit. It's where the entitlement has come in, and so many parents are scared to raise their teenage kids. So many parents are scared of their kids. Do not be scared of your kids. Don't.
I'm going to say something before we cover this next story, and that is that sometimes we really have to ask ourselves, what came first, the chicken or the egg? For example, all these family channels going down, what came first? The corrupt, abusive behavior of the parents or the fame? A lot of these parents, for example, Daddy-O-5. Y'all remember that story? If you didn't, I don't know. Maybe one day we'll cover it. I don't know. But like him, he said, well, it was the fame. We were just misunderstood and And then the family comes out and they got a different story. Well, we've got another one of those situations, y'all. And hang on to your hat, because if you somehow missed it, Ruby Frank, that's right, the mom from 8 Passengers, has been arrested for child abuse. And if you haven't heard these details, y'all, if you are sensitive to torture, abuse, anything like that, y'all might want to click away, come back in 10 minutes because it's almost unbelievable. And the truth is, while she's done lots of things that were questionable,
if you cut one more thing in my house, I'm going to take the scissors, look at me, and I'm going to cut its head off.
borderline.
Can you give me some breakfast?
You don't need food.
Iffy.
Stop crying or I'm going to have you go upstairs and you won't have any breakfast.
Yucky.
And my kids are literally starving. I hesitate to say this because it's going to sound like I'm like a mean barbarian. I told the kids, I said, I'm not even going to let you eat breakfast.
You're going to lose the privilege to eat dinner.
Right? Like,
Did you ruin your bag? Julie. The camera's rolling, so I can't get that mad. It helps keep me under control.
icky.
Instead of crying, you need to use words to tell me.
Because I was scared of you because you were being so mad.
Icky.
My kids are not welcome to come live with me after they're 18.
Right?
This home, you don't get personal space because this is my space because I'm the parent. If you want your own personal space, you'll need to get your own space. This is mine. Do you see how loving that is?
She said a lot of that kind of thing. It's still like, all right. But you're allowed to raise your kids however you want. People in the families have been speaking out for a long time about exactly the fact that this is not just a strict disciplinarian. They've all pointed their finger in one direction besides Ruby, though. Let's take a listen to the details in this video and then talk about it.
Police say this is the house a young child escaped from and went to a neighbor's house asking for food and water. They said that that child was severely malnourished along with another one they found inside the same home. Now, we talked to neighbors in this area, and they said that they don't really know the homeowner of this home very well, but she's in business with a woman who has gained a huge following online with YouTube videos getting hundreds of thousands of views.
So being a mom's a full-time job.
Popular Utah family vlogger Ruby Frankie was arrested Wednesday. The 41-year-old mother of 6 is known for sharing clips of her children's daily lives on their now defunct YouTube channel, 8 Passengers. Today, she and her business partner, Jody Hildebrand, are accused of abusing some of them.
My bedroom was taken away for 7 months and then you give it back like a couple of weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know that.
You've been sleeping on a beanbag.
I was sleeping on a beanbag since October. They gave my room back like 2 weeks ago.
Now remember, she's laughing about that, but remember that before that 7 months, they sent him away to like a camp. You know, one of those wilderness camps for bad kids, per se. And honestly, he didn't do much for him to have been sent away for as long as he was to something, you know, to have such an extreme reaction. But fine, again, you're disciplinarian, fine, whatever. Do what you want with your kids, right? And then he comes back. And then almost immediately, he just plays like a little innocent prank on one of his brothers, right? Tells like his brothers like they're going to like Wonderland, like to some amusement park or something when they're not. Like it's not even like a big bad thing or whatever. And because he played a prank, she took away his bed and his room and then gave him a choice to either sleep on the floor or on the beanbag. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a month, but for 7 months. And he just got his bed back. So that's basically like well over a year that this teenage boy was deprived of being able to like, I don't know, sleep in comfort in a bed or whatever for pretty much nothing. He has no friends. He's not allowed to have friends. He's not allowed to anything. And he couldn't risk it anyway because look how she reacts as soon as he does the littlest thing out of line. Never mind all the other ways that she chooses to violate everybody's privacy or the really questionable decisions she makes. But let's keep listening. Let's keep listening.
They say a clearly malnourished 12-year-old child crawled out of the window of Hildebrand's Ivans area home. A neighbor called 911 when he showed up at their house asking for food and water. Officers say his wrists were duct taped. He had wounds from being tied up across his body. Investigators say they found a 10-year-old girl inside the same house who was also malnourished. Frankie's family vlogs ended without a specific reason given. Frankie now works for the Utah County company Connections along with Hildebrand. It's described as a treatment program for those with mental health and addiction issues.
AKA cult.
Connections has been the subject of a lot of controversy, specifically for its teachings on parenting.
Cult.
Many of Frankie's siblings are also online content creators. Her sisters released a social media statement saying, quote, Ruby was arrested, which needed to happen. Jody was arrested, which needed to happen. The kids are now safe. Frankie's eldest daughter, Sherry, posted this picture on Instagram with the caption, finally. In the next slide, she said her family is glad justice was served. She wrote, quote, we've been trying to tell police and CPS for years about this, end quote. The Santa Clara Ivins Police Department did not provide an update on the children's condition. According to the Washington County Sheriff's Office, Frankie is still in custody. At this point, we know the Santa Clara Ivins Police Department is working with the Springville Police Department on this case. We will continue to bring you updates as we get them, both down here in southern Utah and up in Utah County.
Hildebrand and her website.
Both Now, in case you don't know who Hildebrand is, I have her picture up on the screen. She is, her and Ruby are kind of like, they have a joint podcast or channel, whatever. And, you know, they're both Connections members. And they are teaching about connections together.
3 years ago, Ruby, everything was great. It seemed to be fine anyway. We were a typical family. She was getting some therapy counseling because their family needed it, which I think is great. However, I think you need to get it from a great source. Read the reviews. Jody Hildebrand and her website or therapy style, I don't know what you want to call it, Connections, was not a great resource. And we all saw it. We all felt weird about this Jody lady. We weren't comfortable with it. We didn't like it. We didn't like the teachings Ruby was bringing to the family functions. And we were this close to telling her, if you come to our family events anymore, we do not want to hear what you were learning through Connections because we don't like it. We never did say that to her, but we thought it. Anyway, so 3 years ago, Ruby and I hung out bottling tomatoes, and then a few weeks later, crap hit the fan and she left the family. And she didn't even call me to say, hey, you know, Julie, you're doing this and this, I don't like it, you're living your life in distortion, so I'm gonna have to take some time away from you. No, literally nothing. She did call my mom and yelled at my mom on the phone for 45 minutes and accused her of things that were not true. It was almost as if Ruby had been making up memories from her childhood. She was trying to grab at anything she could, and she would exaggerate on everything. So she started all of her lies back then, lying to everyone in her life, getting rid of all of her friends and family, and I literally had no contact with her. She wouldn't respond to any texts or emails over the time that I tried reaching out to her. Never got a response from her. So I was very fortunate to have been able to reach out to her daughter Sherry once she was an adult, and we were able to form a really close, strong relationship, which I am grateful for. And it was then that I learned more about Ruby, and it was then that Sherry had learned about lies that had been told to her.
Jody is the mastermind here, not Ruby. Ruby is still responsible and like should be arrested for harming her children for sure. And I'm sure Jody like used what it was already there, which is what she does. She uses what's already there to her advantage. Jody is the one doing this. This is Jody's therapeutic ideas. These are Jody's ideas.
Ruby discovered Jody Hildebrand and Connections. Her life has clearly been in a downward spiral. I mean, she was already insane, and now she not only kicked her husband out of her house a little while ago, they broke up, but all reports say that she's the one who threw him out of the house when he disagreed with the next elevation, degradation behavior, to discipline and support and control and shape the children, and he wouldn't have it, so she kicked him out. Now, did that have to do with the whole starvationing of the kids, emaciated and taped and tied, bound in a room? I mean, Ruby wasn't really opposed to starvationing children, was she? In fact, that was something she really liked to use as the carrot and the stick, right? Well, if you want dinner, better do exactly what I say. Oh, you forgot to pack your lunch and you're 6? Nope. I'm not bringing you food, and I hope no one else brings you food either. So I don't know. I don't think it would be that hard to convince her that that's what you need to do to train your children up. I don't know. I guess we're going to see as the details play out in court.
Complete Strangers showed to see the initial appearances of 8 passengers influencer Ruby Frankie and mental health counselor Jody Hildebrand, both charged with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse. So many logged on to the online hearing, it clogged up the system.
Because of the interest in these hearings today from the public and the members of the media, we've had some technical difficulties.
Nearly 40 minutes after the scheduled start time.
Ms. Frankie, can you hear me?
Yes.
Frankie and Hildebrand made their separate appearances to face their charges for the first time. Both women are being held without bail, and a hearing was scheduled to address that matter.
She's aware of the charges. She's aware of the elements.
Well, that hearing about the bail issue was set for September 21st, but it sounds like at least one of the lawyers has a potential conflict, so we'll have to see how that shakes out over the next couple of weeks.
How are you?
Very good.
So you represent Ms. Frankie?
I do. He is on the video with us.
Okay. Ms. Frankie, can you hear me?
Yes.
Have you received a copy of the information in this case?
Yes.
I can inform the court that Ms. Frankie and I have both reviewed.
Motion for an expedited detention hearing in the case with Judge Walt, and we're going to hopefully give a motion.
She looks so out of it.
At this time, if you are in a WebEx hearing...
I don't know, y'all. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that it's just the curse of being a family channel and the way that fame affects us all? Or?
Tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house, and we know there's problems at this neighbor's house. He's emaciated. He's got tape around his legs. He's hungry, and he's thirsty.
Okay.
Is your door locked?
No, I'm sitting outside with him on the front patio.
Okay, cool.
And he asked us to call the police. So he's very afraid.
Does he seem to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
I don't think so, but he's very thirsty and...
need an ambulance?
I don't think he needs an ambulance. I'll let the cops decide that, but his ankles are taped up and he won't tell us why.
Okay.
But he has duct taped around each ankle. Yeah, there's sores around them. I think there's a good chance he's been... Oh, and he has them around his ankles. I mean, his wrists as well. Okay, this boy has been... He's been detained. He's obviously covered in wounds.
Okay. Let's get the paramedics headed over that way. Okay.
Do they have wounds on them as well?
Nothing bad going on with us.
Okay.
It's just
okay. So they're able to walk around the house and everything? Well, okay. He says everything's fine with them. Grain of salt. He says what's happened to him is his fault.
I don't know, y'all. Let me know what you think. Do you think Ruby Frankie deserves to go to prison? For how long? Right? Do you think that the people who were viewing and supporting and paying mad dollars to these women, do you think that they have some kind of accountability or responsibility? I mean, do we have some type of accountability and responsibility based on what we choose to support, what we choose to put our money into, what we choose to put our viewing time into? I don't know. Let me know what y'all think, though. I'm interested to see. Definitely want to know what Zel over here thinks.
You about to lose your job. Get this. You about to lose your K-O-B. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing.
Yeah, that lady. I don't know how, like, all the things, like, she, like her YouTube channel is basically her abusing her kids. And they just like,
oh yeah, no, 100%. That's
like her whole, and then like, oh yeah, I don't think I'm parenting right, so I hate all of you, and all that weird crap. And yeah, I don't know what y'all talking about. I know how to parent, and I'm like, why is she? It's so strange, Ruby.
No, it's amazing because 8 Passengers is a huge channel. It's been around for like a decade. Like, it's been around for a long time. And the fact that it's not like she just started doing these behaviors, right? Like, the connections thing only started a few years ago, right? So that's when she started ramping up. But she was always starving her children and teaching her kindergartners through letting them starve for the day and, just stuff like that. Like, it's not like she was ever a normal human being or like a normal parent. Like, she's always been this level of abusive. To be fair, so was the husband. But even the husband objected. The husband objected at one point, and so she kicked him out because it was all distortion. Because everything's distortion, right? Because that's what the cult tells you, right? If you object to starving your children or hog tying them with some duct tape in a basement for a week to punish them, that's just distortion on your part, right? Like, it's I don't even know. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Shout out, what's up to Poppy Blanco? You know what? I am surprised you're here, Poppy. But I told you, listen, we are a news channel, okay? We're not a discussion channel, although we do discussions on Monday. If you want to come back on Monday for the discussion, open call, that's cool. Today, we are doing news stories. This news story was about the 8 Passengers lady, Ruby, not me, Frankie. And the way she abused her kids, and then she finally got caught and arrested because one of the kids escaped. And he had duct tape around his wrists and ankles. He was saying that it's his fault why this had happened to him. Imagine being conditioned to the point where you could be emaciated with duct tape around your wrists and ankles, and you're blaming yourself. That's it. That's what sent her to prison right there. She's going to prison for sure. And I don't know how much drugs she's on. It seems like she's on a lot of drugs at this point. On a lot, right? But on the 21st, I think it is, or after the 21st, we'll be able to get like details on bail. For now, they're remanded. I hope she stays there. And I hope they take away her mattress in prison, or one of her cellmates makes her sleep on the floor because, she didn't follow the rules or some stupidness, so she can get a little taste of her own medicine. Wouldn't it be nice, y'all? Like, seriously, I would love to see her get a taste of her own medicine for once, right, Char? Like, it's crazy.
Ruby, but not this one. Ruby, but not this.
Ruby Frankie. So there's a channel called 8 Passengers. We're moving on from the story anyway right now, but there's a channel called 8 Passengers on YouTube. They've been really huge. They're kind of like fundamentalist Christian, sort of whatever. And she's always been controversial because she does things like starve her children as punishment. Well, she got caught. Now she's actually incredibly abusive, and the person who convinced her to be extra abusive, who was her therapist, who she went into business with to further get more people to be abusive. Yeah, they're all in prison now because one of their kids escaped and then called the police for help. So yeah, that's that in a nutshell. Yes.
It's crazy, but we got some positive kid news. So let's Let's do some positive kid news.
Thank God, yeah.
And some ebony excellence at the same time. So I hope y'all enjoy this story. It's gonna make you feel better after Ruby's 6th story and her next few 6 stories.
What's up, Wilhelmina? See, y'all, some of y'all late bloomers are rolling in, so you get to catch one of the good stories, and then it's just a bunch of bad stories again about the story. Good job.
Yeah, they all just make you upset. All right.
Not get to the finish line with you, but I will continue to strive to carve out my own space before passing this baton on to a new generation of runners, confident in victory because success, it runs in my race.
Listen, if I come back, I have to do a little black excellence. You know what I'm saying? First day back, we have to do black excellence. Of course, in this black excellence, ebony excellence, whatever you want to call it, don't matter. It's amazing. I also have to show love to my new state. Texas girl Alina McQuarter, who went viral for graduating high school at 12, is currently on pace to graduate college at 14 years old. That's a blessing. That's a story. That's all you need to know. But it's a little more that you need to know, because we just can't end off just a say cheese article. We have to break it down and go back deeper into this story. Now let's go do that. This is a story from a year ago. August 23rd, 2022. 13-year-old Fort Worth girl becomes youngest black person ever to be accepted into medical school. Is it just black person? That seems like the youngest ever, but hey, listen, shout out to all the smart people, smart white people, Asian people, all y'all. I love all y'all. It's all a love show. We back, baby, we in love. But this is the Fort Worth girl from Texas. Texas. Yes, that's what I meant. Now, let's go read this. Go look at the story.
A 13-year-old Fort Worth girl landed in the record books this summer as the youngest black person ever accepted to medical school. Alina McQuarter graduated from high school last year. She enrolled in 2 colleges to earn 2 degrees at the same time. She's also started a foundation to inspire other kids to go for their dreams.
Let's be honest. I'm be honest with y'all. At 13, she did more than I did in my life. 2 degrees at one time and started a foundation. I got 1 degree and I started a foundation in a business. Did that equal out? You got me feeling bad, but I'm happy for it. I'm happy. I'm for it. I'm enjoying. This is ebony excellence right now. And I just had to be humble. She humbled me. Who am I? I'm looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy, but I ain't that accomplished. I gotta go out and make a meal in a year. Like, subscribe, help me do that.
Fox 4's Deanna England talked with Alina about her future goals.
I love to learn, and I wanted to learn more.
To call her bright and gifted,
it means it's taking all of those letters, all of the different hydrogens, carbons, oxygens, and just putting it into a simpler form.
Well, that's an understatement.
You do need to know them because they're very important.
Elena Annalie McWhorter is 13 years old, a junior in college, a year.
I want y'all to understand it. I want y'all heard that right. 13 years old, a junior in college. Only reservation I have is that when she go in the real world and she'll be in situations at grad school and everything, she'll probably be in a different environment at that young age, and it's weirdos and all that. But the thing about the advantage she has is that she'll probably be 17, 18 with full doctorates, doctors, and all that stuff. And she can go right into the workforce at 18. And therefore, even she doesn't have the option of either you go to work or you get your education. She got it when she's 18. She won't even be able to drink, but she got the education to create her own foundations, do these amazing things. So she's going to already be a step ahead of everybody, even though she's already a step ahead. She's 13 and a junior in college. I want y'all to understand it.
From earning a double bachelor's degree, and soon afterward, a master's will follow, a program that begins in January and will overlap one of her undergrad degrees. And wait, there's much more.
I want y'all to understand this too, for people that don't not understand what they're saying. She's going to be in her other bachelor's degree while she getting her other master's. If y'all have been to college, you know how hard it can be to be in college. Manage one. She's managing a master's and a bachelor's, her second degree already. That's incredible.
Tell me about this moment when you found out you're accepted into medical school.
It was, wow. It was
at 13.
It was such an amazing moment.
Elena's first love, engineering, started with her fascination with NASA. At 12, she became the youngest to intern with the space program. And since then, her goals have shifted to medicine.
And I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to go into healthcare. I want to help others and get involved with underrepresented communities. There are viruses all over the world that don't have cures for them. And I want to be the person who helps find those cures.
Listen, this is amazing. I know all the people like, we don't trust Farmer and all these people. Listen, I trust this young lady. She have the whole world at her oyster right now. And she choose to help you. A lot of you dusties, you people who hate education and hate everything, she choosing to help you dummies. She's amazing.
Along the way, she founded Brown Stem Girl, her own foundation which offers mentorship and encouragement to girls, particularly those of color, to follow their dreams and consider careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. But if you're worried she doesn't find time to just be a kid, think again. She loves to travel, play soccer, hang out with her friends, and go shopping.
We have chocolate chip cookies.
13 and on the road to becoming a doctor. It's a lot of hard work, and sometimes that's a detour through the kitchen because Elena loves to bake.
Daphne McWhorter.
Listen, we ain't losing recipes, Micah. We ain't losing recipes, guys. We got doctors. We got women who doctors that know how to bake for you, my guy. Not for you, you old nigga.
To kind of nurture the gift in her that I saw and understanding just her as a kid and letting her have that space to be a kid.
Elena.
For the future kid, not the dumb old man who weird on YouTube. Stop listening to YouTube people and just listen to them. You don't listen to me. I'm just a dude who just got a business who's doing something in my life, trying to at least. May fail, may not, you don't know. But this person succeeding, listen to her. She's smart.
Elena says she couldn't have managed any of this without her mom by her side.
From that young age, she knew that I was special. She knew that there was something different about me. And she used that as a chance to show me that there's a whole world out there that needs what I'm doing right now.
Deanna.
I want to talk about that. I do want to say that. I wish more black kids had that mindset that I'm special. Because a lot of us, it seems like when somebody say you're special, it seems like a condemnation. Oh, you're not telling the other kids they special. Oh, you're all this blah, 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 blah crap. No, I'm special. I'm them. I'm a dangerous person. Sometimes you just need to hear somebody like, you don't even know how dangerous you are once you put your mind to it. You need that motivation. You need somebody to tell you can. You need somebody in your life. Don't try to be humble. No. Humbleness is once you get it. You need that mindset in your mind that I can do whatever I want to do. A lot of black kids, unfortunately, especially in the hood, don't think they ever going to live past 21. I can do whatever because it ain't no point in it. I can just, why not? Instead of giving them a basketball or a mic and telling them to do something, why can't you be a doctor? Why can't you be an astronaut? Why can't you be a 13-year-old doctor? Because you just seen one. A lot of specifically black boys need to hear that you can be whatever you want to be. If you put your mind to it, you don't have to be what society tells you are. Because all society tells you is you're going to be a basketball player, you're going to be a rapper, you got to be an athlete, or you got to be this scammer who all for black causes and all this, and you have to do all these things to get rich or whatever. Man, listen, you special doing whatever you do. If you're an auto mechanic, you're going to be the best in the country, bitch. If you love cars, don't let nobody tell you can't. Don't let nobody. I know a dude up the road, they probably told him he couldn't all day. He one of the best mechanics in Mississippi. Well, not the road, but I just realized I moved. But I'm just saying.
England, Fox 4 News.
Balanced and brilliant, Elena was offered a spot at the University of Alabama School of Medicine, which
one of the best schools in the country, brother.
Offers early admission to applicants who meet specific requirements. Elena is more than 10 years younger than the average incoming medical student.
Because she's amazing, because she's special, because anybody, not just black kids, not just white kids, not just Asian kids, anybody. Listen, this is my message to you. Go out there and get it. You are dangerous. You can do whatever you want.
A letter from the National Archives.
You can be whatever you want to be, all of that stuff. Be great. I'm here to tell you, young black boy, this is my message to young black men. You can do whatever you want to. You don't have to listen to YouTube dudes who you have to be this 6-figure person. Listen, be the best you want to be and be who you want to be. Don't listen to all the other people. Just figure out who you are and do you. And that's my mission today, to inspire a little bit between the ghetto-ness and the messiness and the sadness that we have. We had a sniffer and another story coming up. But this is my inspiration, y'all. I hope y'all read and go on about your baby. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. I appreciate this. This story is amazing. Peace. Yeah, that's an incredible story from an incredible young lady doing amazing things. Listen, that should be motivation to black people, little black girls, that you can be whatever you put your mind to, and you don't have to sacrifice your life because she still cooks and she still travels. You might be like, oh, she must put everything into school. No, she still cooks and travels. So that's...
No, you know what? Here, listen, I just gotta say one thing. I said it in the chat. You know, I know Shar knows where I'm coming from. I know Vonda knows where I'm coming from. You know, anyone who's been in these spaces knows where I'm coming from, okay? Listen, anytime anything gets started by black girls or black women, for black girls or black women, okay? We don't see like the men and the boys say, hey, that's inspirational. Let's do it for boys or men. Right? We just hear they should have started it for us too. If they cared about us, they started for us too, right? And then I'm like, the thing is, no one really looks into it. But I'm like, listen, this is a child. This is a child who's on her way to medical school. You know how busy she's been? That at 13 years old, she's on her way to medical school. So sorry, she only had time and psychological ability to think about herself, as in brown STEM girl. Like, you know, like it's like that song, brown skin girl, skin just like pearls, right? But she did it with STEM, so it's cool. But she's 13 and she's a child, and she started it to inspire girls like her so she could have more friends, in essence, in STEM, probably, right? And more people like her. And we're not going to see this as like this big inspirational thing. We're not going to see it with the men talking, but no, there's going to be like, see, brown STEM girl, see? And then they say, why aren't the boys as successful as the girls? And what? That's like, we never get to just celebrate these girls and say, wow, that's amazing. It's aspirational. Hey, let's start something on like that too in the men's side. Like, I wish that, like, you know what I mean? Because when the boys do it, when the boys do great stuff, we're like, oh, he's on his way to college at 15 and stuff. We apply. We're like, oh, excellent. Oh my God, look at this. He's an inspiration. But you don't hear the men saying, I'm sorry, you don't. They just talk about, well, what about us? That's all. I'm seeing it coming. The whataboutisms. It's coming. I know it's coming. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm just happy that she got it. She getting it. She got a foundation. She got everything in it. And if anything, instead of complaining, you should be excited, ready to see what you can get off, what I can do. Instead of being like, why she didn't do it? Why ain't you doing it? Everybody, that's from what Ruby is saying. If you say that, what are you doing? Why didn't you start? Or I ain't smart enough. Why didn't you get smart enough? That's on you. It ain't. Everybody can't. You looking for everybody to save everybody. No, be the change you want to be. Be the change you want to be.
Facts. Unfortunately, though, in this day and age, let's be real. Kids don't even think. I mean, the average 13-year-old is nowhere near, or the average 23-year-old is nowhere near where this beautiful, intelligent, and aspirational young lady is, right? Let's be real. The majority of them are out there sitting there thinking about how they are going to put their stamp on this world by becoming viral from yet another TikTok challenge, right? Am I right? Like that is what kids these days do, okay? And so while Zel was sitting there trying to inspire you with what the children are the future and whatnot, I decided for my next multiple stories, we're going to point out what most of the children are really doing these days. And unfortunately, survival of the fittest is coming in a whole different way. It's called the YouTube or TikTok or social media challenge. That's it. The survival of the fittest. That's what it is. Dude, listen. But this next one, y'all, you got to pay attention. If you are a parent, pay attention, because this one, I bet you a lot of y'all would have heard of it. You've seen it at the grocery store, and you probably thought, that's pretty safe. That's pretty safe. But
all right, let's get to it.
sadly, y'all, as regularly happens on social media these days, while we were gone, another trend started. Or at least another trend ended, quite tragically. This one might shock and surprise you. Doesn't involve kids stealing cars or lighting themselves on fire. If you haven't heard of it yet, this one might shock you, because this one, parents, you might have even agreed to originally let your kid try. Let's check out the video on this one. This is tragic.
His basketball coach says he loved the game. He loved being on the team, and he knew how to make the plays to get the team a win. Now they're trying to make sense of his death after his family says the teen participated in the one-chip challenge while he was here at school.
He did all the things that mattered.
Douglas Hill coached Harris Wollaba at St. Bernard Gym. He says the 14-year-old was quiet and reserved, but was finding himself on the court.
I think basketball provided a very specific environment for him where he could be free.
His family says the high school sophomore took part in the one-chip challenge, eating a single tortilla chip seasoned with some of the world's hottest peppers at school last week. They say he died several hours later.
It just pauses you for a moment there. Makes you question what is going on. How did this happen?
Father Jonathan Slavinskis prayed with Harris's family during this unthinkable loss.
No one wants the weight of this pain upon their hearts, and they have a weight.
While officials say it's too early to know if the chip contributed to Harris's death, doctors say when people ingest capsaicin, an ingredient found naturally in the peppers used on the chip, side effects can be dangerous.
Sometimes we see people that will...
Now, that's why, do y'all see what I'm saying now? When I said, parents, this is when you might be blowing your socks off right now, or you might have said, okay, finally, a normal / safe enough challenge that I would allow my kids to try, especially if you are, Black from, African, Caribbean, Black American descent, right? Because we like our food spicy, right? We're known for our hot sauces and our habaneros and our Scotch bonnets and whatnot, right? So because of that, right? Because of our ghost peppers and all that stuff, you would think to yourself, well, the challenge is just like some hot pepper on a chip, basically. This kind of looks kind of creepy. I mean, that does look creepy. But the point is, right, is that you think to yourself, okay, that's what the challenge is. Well, it's probably made for, a slightly lighter persuasion than us. And, it's all right. My kid wants to sit there and have his tongue burned for an hour. I'm cool with that, right? It happens to all of us at some point. Probably sounds lighthearted fun. It's being sold at the grocery store. It's not like you have to buy it from some random TikToker like that pink sauce death trap, right? So I'm sure a lot of parents walking by, see it in the grocery store, it doesn't look like it would be a threat necessarily, And yet somehow or another, kid still lost his life. Let's keep listening.
Have a lot of chest pain, or they'll experience things like palpitations as well. So a whole variety of issues that we're seeing with this one chip challenge.
As they begin processing his death, Harris's friends, teammates, and coaches are honoring his life.
So my whole thought process was, how do we honor him? And it's through the game that he loved.
Now, the team will be holding a charity basketball event this Saturday for Harris's family. And this is the chip involved in that challenge. On the back of the box, there's a clear warning that this is not intended for children. We reached out to the company that makes this chip, Pocky, but haven't heard back. Live in Worcester.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to call bull on that one. Because with the exception of, college students, all of these challenges are made for children, right? I mean, maybe you don't mean them for actual children under the age of 8 or 7 or something, but I'm pretty sure that we all know that these challenges include, pretty much middle school and up. Once you hit 6th grade and up to maybe mid-college, you know what I mean? If it's not safe for middle school, you probably shouldn't allow it to be a trend, TikTok. Just saying. But for those of y'all who didn't know, this one chip challenge thing, it's not just some new thing. I know, I didn't know this either initially, but okay. We do actually have an update on this story. You might have heard of the teens passing already. We have an update on the story already. The company called Packy has responded to the loss of this teen. Let's take a listen to what happened.
We also have some more breaking news right now. Just days after a Worcester teenager's death, the makers of the One Chip Challenge are now removing their spicy chip from stores. Pocky says the challenge is meant for adults only, but more and more kids have been trying it.
And one of those kids, 14-year-old Harris Wolova, died hours after taking the challenge at school in Worcester. WBZ's Tiffany Chan is live in Worcester. And Tiffany, this is exactly what Harris's family told us they wanted.
Yeah, Lisa, David, the teen's family is grieving, telling me that even though the company is pulling the chips off the shelves, it won't do anything to bring Harris Wolova back. And now an emergency room doctor is now warning how dangerous these chips can be for kids. One bite, she says, can produce very, very, very dangerous effects.
One bite. Oh my God.
This controversial spicy chip pulled from store shelves after a Worcester teen dies hours after eating it.
I think for me, the whole thing is it shouldn't have happened. And honestly, the chip company is not the only one to blame.
The so-called One Chip Challenge.
So, because I don't know if y'all know this, right? But like you can go back over a year to find people doing the One Chip Challenge, right? And as you also saw there on the shelves, there's multiple flavors. So this is not like a brand new thing. So I find it shocking that emergency room doctors are saying just one bite could be harmful, maybe even deadly to children. And this is the first where a child had to die first before we heard of it. There was no markings on this that this should be specialty, that this should not be sold in grocery stores next to all the chips that children are allowed to eat, etc. Like, what? I don't know. Let's keep watching. This is crazy.
Challenge is meant for adults, but has since gone viral on social media.
Which was
the
the
makers, Pocky, is now offering refunds, saying in a statement, "We have seen an increase in teens and other individuals not heeding these warnings. As a result, while product continues to adhere to food safety standards, out of an abundance of caution, we are actively working with our retailers to remove the products from the shelves." Those who knew Harris Wolova say it's too little too late. The Doherty High School sophomore ate the chip at school and died at the hospital hours later. The teen's basketball coach says he believes the chip is to blame.
The kids were going everywhere and finding these chips. They weren't IDing anybody. So obviously, if you knew there was dangerous to it and you only wanted adults to have it, why didn't we ID people before they grabbed the chip?
The One Chip Challenge contains two of the hottest peppers available and could be too much for kids to handle, says Tufts Chief of Pediatric Emergency Medicine, Dr. Lawrence Rice.
So let's take a look at what peppers we're talking about, okay? So you've got the Carolina Reaper, Pepper X, and the Dorset Naga. I'm not really good with like pepper ratings, to be fair, but you can look at the Carolina Reaper right there. It's I think it's the Scoville is how peppers are rated for heat. So I think their Scoville reading of 2.2 million. 1.4 to 2.2 mil. And it says United States Guinness World Records hottest chili pepper in 2018. So, I mean, that's pretty hot. Now, over here we have Scoville rating for Pepper X of 3.18 million. And it says United States still waiting for verification from the Guinness World Records to be the official hottest pepper. The Dorset Naga, which has a Scoville rating up to 1.598 mil. It's in the United Kingdom. So, I mean, that's very high. I know that the pepper that I put into food on a regular basis is the Scotch bonnet. That's pretty much the same look and heat level as the habanero. And so, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's significantly lower than all it is, right? So that's pretty hot, especially if you don't have exposure to this level of heat ever in your life, and your little stomach lining is not prepared for it, let alone your little tongue, your little heart, your little life, right? So I don't know. Let's keep looking though. This is crazy.
Peppers available and could could be too much for kids to handle, says Tufts Chief of Pediatric Emergency Medicine, Dr. Lawrence Rice.
They're smaller humans, and so that smaller human only needs a small bite of a chip, perhaps, or of a chemical or of a medication in order to produce this bigger effect on their body.
Right. She says the same ingredient found in chili peppers can be found in pepper spray, and too much can be dangerous. This as Waloba's friends and family gear up for a memorial basketball fundraiser to keep his memory alive.
So doing something that he loved, and again, it was something that he would spend every day doing, only made sense to make sure that we did something that was a part of who he was as a person.
And that fundraiser is being held here in Worcester at St. Bernard's Parish on Saturday. But before that, tomorrow, the community of Worcester is coming together for a vigil at 6:30 at Newton Center. From Worcester, I'm Tiffany Chan, WBZ News.
So I don't know. Y'all are going to have to let me know what you think. But I think it's a little bit insane that you're going to say, well, we're selling this right next to all the other chips that are for everybody. But I swear to God, on the package, it says only for adults. And, you know, so it's just been sold to only adults. What? Really? Because that's how we deal with everything else that's meant only for adults, that we actually literally mean to only sell to adults, right? Is we just put it in the section of the grocery store that the all ages food is, that the all ages drinks are, and then just hope people read the packaging clearly. And if they don't, well, eat it at your own risk. You could have read the package, right? So who is at fault here? Now, I understand, okay, now that the store, or now that the company has been accused, sure, now that they're going to take the chip out, great, good for you, right? But what about the grocery stores and anyone who was selling this and just put it up a big stand? You know, it would be like putting out a stand for like liquor, right? But then not IDing anyone who's buying it, not putting it into an adult only type section, right? Or cigarettes or whatever, right? It's labeled as for adults only, but we're not going to take that seriously, right? It's kind of the reason why in Canada we're having this huge purge of all, and I do mean like literally almost every single kind of those caffeine sport type drinks, right? Because it's dangerous for kids. And since nobody's regulating who they're being sold to, well, if you're not going to follow at least the minimum requirements as far as what the max level of caffeine is for adults, then we're just going to pull them off the shelves altogether. If you're not going to regulate who you're selling to, we're just going to pull them off the shelves altogether. Because otherwise, if we're seeing children being affected, children dying, all in the sake of wanting to take part, all because all the adults can't get their stuff together and actually regulate things correctly, all because of the greed, all because they want to make a buck. Ridiculous. I don't know. Y'all gonna have to let me know what you think, though. Starting with Zel. Zel, what do you think?
Listen.
Well,
listen. We gotta listen. All these challenges, all these things to go viral. Y'all out here taking cinnamon and choking to death and passing out and doing whatever challenge because it's gonna make you famous. And if you die, you will make the news. You'll make I'll be that news. Unfortunately, prayers up to his family and everybody else. But listen, you get the attention you want. You own it. You made it on TV and.
Yeah.
Listen, don't take challenges. Some certain things you just shouldn't do in life just to prove something. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got to prove it to nobody.
No. Now listen, so in the chat, I was talking about my ghost pepper experience. I'll tell y'all now. So basically, I actually know someone like in sort of my neighborhood. So it's actually still pretty close. People, because people can grow whatever they want in their own backyards, right? So anyway, these people were from Goa, maybe somewhere like that, kind of like Caribbean-ish, but also like brown Caribbean-ish, but I think it was Goa. Anyway, point is, so they grew ghost peppers in their backyard and then they made their own hot sauce. And I'm telling you, you put like 4 little tiny drips of that hot sauce on like whatever you were eating, and it turned into fire. But it was really good. This was back in the days. I used to cover everything in Scotch bonnets. Like, I really like really hot stuff. So I was at a barbecue at their house, right? I was like about 21, 22. I was pretty young, right? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they gave me like this little container of the hot sauce, and I threw it into my purse. And then we went out to the bar or whatever, right? Because yeah, we're 21. So we went to the bar. And this was like a jar, but it didn't have like a lid that seals like that. It had a lid that kind of like, I don't know, it's like a claspy thing. So anyway, I guess the lid came undone in whatever I was doing. I didn't realize that. And it's in the bottom of my purse. And, you know, you go and getting stuff from your purse and da-da-da-da. And then I noticed some of it was on my hands because I was smoking. I used to be a dirty, rotten smoker. And I was smoking and I could feel the fire in my lungs just from going like this. So I was like, okay, remember to myself, go wash my hands. It didn't wash off. It didn't wash off. It didn't wash out. And I was like, it's fine. I'll remember, don't touch my face. But I was drinking. So at some point, I got drunk enough that I can't remember what happened. I think I fell and then I cried. And then because I cried, I rubbed my face. My whole face turned red. It was swollen, okay, like Brickgate, okay, swollen, the whole thing. It was bright red. But the thing is, I can't wash it off because as I'm using my hands to try to wash it off, it's making it worse, okay? So I lived with Mama Rubes at the time. I get home and I woke her up, me, my drug self, but I had no choice because someone has to wash this off of my face because I'm gonna die, right? So I'm like, I need your hands. Wash it off my face, okay? Like, and that was like the remnants after washing my hands for 50 times. That's what it did to my face. So I'm trying to imagine now a 14, 13-year-old, 10-year-old, right? Like putting full force of that in their mouths and into their esophaguses and in their lungs, like with no practice first. Yeah, that's dangerous. Yeah, like to the point I lost, like it was a Playboy bunny purse and a Playboy bunny, and everyone knows I love this stuff. And I just lost everything. I lost the cards that were in it. I had to get all new ID because it was there. I had the purse, but I refused to go into it for any reason. I'm not opening it ever again. It doesn't matter. It's trash. Okay, that is how traumatizing this was. Rue the day. I still rue the day I ever accepted that ghost pepper hot sauce, right? So like, stuff is dangerous. The stuff is it is legit dangerous. It's legit dangerous for real.
Yeah, Don't do challenges and all that. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. Ruby has been called a drama queen.
Yeah, listen, okay, I'm not being a drama queen. It was bad, right? Listen, Mama Rubes confirmed it in the chat, and I know what you're gonna say about her. You're gonna say she's also a drama queen. That's where I learned it from. But in this case, we were both correct. It was bad. No, it really was. It was traumatic. I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital because there was no escaping it, right? Like there's nothing you could do. And like 20 minutes later, of her just like splashing cold water on my face, it stopped like getting worse, but it wasn't really getting better. Oh my god, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. It was a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Listen, don't touch them chips. Don't. Even though you're an adult, don't do it. Trust me. And if you do, please wear gloves because the pepper never goes away ever. Like it was like 6 months later. If I went like this, I could still feel the pepper on my tongue. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. No, it was. It was not me being a drama queen. It was a lot.
I was gonna say drama queen squared. But this is the part of Ruby Clan didn't work. Listen, I knew y'all got a long week. We just easing y'all back into it. Ruby giving y'all documentaries. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna give y'all some update. Just a quick hit. It's in the title, quick hit. Just so we're gonna get the show back getting in the groove. Ruby had a whole month to get all these documentary series she got together. I'm on a plane struggling with a bunch of broken car and a bunch of, I ain't gonna go over all my problems I had this other way I moved, but it's fine. It's life. It's turning around. It's getting great. See the show back, but we got a shorter story, and it's an update to one of our old stories, so it's a quick hit. So let's get to it. Do y'all remember that girl I did a story on 19-year-old Alexei Trehivo allegedly gave birth in a hospital bathroom and dumped her newborn in the trash in January. Remember I did that story earlier this year? Her attorney is now blaming the Artesia General Hospital staff, claiming a nurse did this incident. By administering a cocktail of drugs, including morphine, the New Mexico teen also filed a notice in intent to sue the hospital for the wrongful death of the newborn, but later changed her mind. Shout out to the Law and Crime, but this is basically the story. Just reminding y'all a little bit of what happened. I don't know if y'all kind of remember, but here you go, right here. Like, I'm just gonna have it a big screen. We're gonna talk about it because I don't know if y'all kind of remember that she had this baby and it was thrown in the trash and how everything was going wrong and she was getting arrested for it and all that. Apparently, she's saying the nurse did it. The nurse gave her drugs. She was out of control. I want to know what y'all think. Like I said, this is an interactive show. Y'all already read the report. I gave y'all the news. Now they blaming the hospital and everything for it, saying that she wanted the baby. She didn't want to get rid of the baby. She didn't. And we done had a lot of stories like this where the immigrant didn't know she had a child. In this case, they said he dumped the baby in the trash. And the other case was just had the baby in the bathroom and got scared. We had seen a lot of cases like this. So I do want to know y'all honest thoughts on, do y'all believe earnestly that she knowingly did it, or was she drugged? Or was it the hospital's fault? Because there's so much to this story that I don't want to just... We're going to dive into it after the show, as we know we always do. So I'm going to give like just a little short video this week, just to get us back in the groove of things. I know a lot of y'all not really coming to these shows as much as y'all used to because we've been gone. I understand. I get how YouTube work, but we back. I want y'all to know. So like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. The content is finna be elite. I'm telling you, we coming hard. We working you back in. We giving you we letting your muscles get a little accustomed to the show again. We're getting the excitement built back up. But we are back. I'm looking forward to it, and some of these videos about to be crazy. I missed y'all, man. Back on Thursdays, baby. Let's go. See, I said it in the video days ago. Shout out to Biggie Boss in the chat. I said it days ago. I'm easing y'all back in. Ruby is trying to like force y'all to get back. I'm just easing y'all back in. I'm just easing. It's like, but how did Ruby? How do you feel? Do you think that she said they gave her a concoction of drugs? Actually, I did watch that 15-minute video, and they literally was the exact same video I did before. So I really just restarted the video and just cut it right there. I look back at the old video I had, and I did a 15-minute lower thing video, and it's literally the exact same video. So I'm like, why am I doing this exact video again? Shout out to Biggie, like I said, shout out to Biggie Boss in the Kick chat. Shout out to everybody on Kick. I saw some other people in Kick, so shout out to y'all. But yeah, I was sitting there like, I just did this entire video. So then I try to make an excuse in the video.
Yeah, caught that one.
I'm just easing y'all back in. I'm like, but Ruby, how do you feel? Do you think they drugged her? Do you think it's a case that it's okay to you throw a baby and you shouldn't be charged or anything like that? Because I was on medicine or I was on drugs and they gave me a concoction of drugs.
Well, they would not put first you'd have to show me which drug that the hospital gives you and then allows you to wander around by yourself. Has one of the side effects that would include you throwing a baby in the trash away. You would have to prove that there's a connection there that I don't think you can prove. Because if they give you, there's certain drugs that they'll give you. And they are super powerful and mind altering, but they're not going to allow you to just get up and wander around afterwards. You won't be allowed to just wander by yourself to here, there, or wherever. You'd basically be tethered to a bed somewhere. So the fact that she walked in and out of that bathroom without she didn't have an IV bag. You would have an IV and then you'd have at least tethering to the IV. But normally, again, if it was that serious, even if it was morphine or whatever, they don't let you just wander around with a bag of IV with you. They just don't. So you would have to prove to me that she was on something that's not normally given in hospitals, which I don't even know how you would prove that. And then from there, you'd have to prove that that drug has side effects that it doesn't tend to have. So no, I'm going to call bullshit.
That's the same thing. That was the same thing I was thinking. I'm like, yeah, she realized them charges on her. She just turned 18. They trying to figure out a way around it. And I just want to give y'all the update on what's going on. When the case come, I will give you a deeper update because hopefully we'll have the drugs and everything else, because that video had none of it. Shout out to Law and Crime. I love watching their videos and reacting and giving context to it, because they have done a lot of law videos for me personally, and so I always shout them. But that video was just a repeat of the exact video I did before a few weeks ago, because I think I used Law and Crime or New York Post again. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, shout out to Biggie Boss. I'm just gonna say one thing, okay? I still think that all the evidence proves that Sneeko is the least or the lesser faker than Andrew. And we still have to have that discussion, sir. So one day we're going to have to, once schedules, we can coordinate, we're going to have that debate, you and I. But anyway, other than that, y'all, okay, we have yet another challenge. Now, this is partially calling out kids on a challenge, I guess, but it's not like a new school challenge. This is something that the younger or the older generations, you might have heard it as Nikki 9 doors, right? I mean, people have been doing this since like the dawn of time. So I don't know if I'm calling out the kids in this one, but I definitely am calling out the adults. Definitely am calling out the adults who are reacting to the getting a knock on your door and then you open the doors. There's a bunch of nobody in front of you and you can hear the sound of kids laughing as they run away. It's terrible, right? I mean, definitely worth throwing their lives away in your life, right? Let's take a look.
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your K-O-B. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing.
Now, we all know that teens can be eternally stupid. What you might not know is the reason why they're seemingly entirely stupid is because children are born with a bunch of learning mechanisms and otherwise not much. So it's all on us as the adults in their lives, as their guardians, as the society around them, to teach them what's good, what's bad, what's indifferent, etc., right? And you combine that with their own personal choices and the consequences of those choices, and that is what turns a baby, a newborn, a child, an idiot teen into hopefully one day an adult full of wisdom and common sense. Some people kind of miss the fact that teenagers are eternally stupid because not because they want to hurt your feelings, okay? No, it's just because they're not done baking yet, right? I mean, literally, their brains are not even done forming for another who knows, because if you're talking about 14-year-old, then they got another 11 years of brain development, right? Before that part of their brain, the forebrain, the part that deals with executive function, including impulse control, decision making, being able to predict the consequences of your actions, so on and so forth. That part's not done developing until you're 25. But some adults, they just can't get it through their brains because, you know what, someone didn't quite steer them right when they were young teenagers. And so as a result, they see these kids like they're grown. And then they dole out really unhelpful grown folk punishment to little kid actions, really. And sometimes we agree because we're like, oh God, these kids are so annoying. But sometimes we gotta be like, yo, what the hell? What? Who raised you, sir? And I don't mean the kid, I'm talking about the adult. And in this case, I'm sticking with a little bit of who the heck raised this grown man. And by grown man, I mean cop. I do mean cop. I really do. Yep. This is not a traffic stop. Oh no. Nope. This is a ding-dong ditch. Gone wrong. Let's check out the video.
Take a look at this
15-year-old's face. He made a big mistake when he knocked on the door of a home and ran. Turns out the homeowner was a cop who he says chased him down and beat him up. The teen was taking part in a prank called Ding Dong Ditch, once thought of as innocent childhood fun. As Stephen Fabian reports, authorities now say it can be really dangerous.
Wow.
Imagine being the target of Ding.
Well, first of all, yeah. Imagine you weren't white. And I don't have to imagine too hard. Do y'all remember what just recently happened to the young Black person who accidentally knocked on the wrong door, thinking it was the right door, and they were trying to pick up their baby sister, or baby sibling? Remember when that happened? Like this year? It's amazing how much our children, us, right? We have to, every time something like this happens, we have to make our kids aware. We have to condition them and say, like, listen, this is the atmosphere right now. But this goes to show you, this is, I understand people don't want to believe white privilege is a thing, but this is white privilege. It is white privilege when you do not have to condition your kids to be scared of knocking on a door in Ding Dong Ditch in 2023, when we know how many kids very recent, or young adults very recently, have gotten shot and otherwise injured from not even playing a prank, not trying to mess with anybody, just pulling onto a driveway to turn around their car, which is totally legal. Walking up to a door to knock on the door, not even pestering somebody. But unfortunately, the tides are changing, and not in the way we would hope, where, now minority kids are no longer at risk for doing these totally normal things. No. Now more and more everyone's kids are at risk, and more everyone's going to need to be having these conversations with their kids to really beat it into their heads that they are actually at risk in 2023 from knocking on a door. Let's keep watching.
Ding Dong Ditchers for more than a year and a half. Well, that's what happened to one family.
We're back!
As soon as school started again, the very first weekend, pow, 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 we're back, F you.
Kevin and his family say life in Fort Myers has become intolerable because of all the ding-dong ditching at their house.
They're trespassing, they're harassing, they're stalking us.
Why?
There's an epidemic of ding-dong ditch across America right now, driven by social media. Ding-dong ditchers get...
I bet you they know that he's a cop, too. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Okay, let's keep watching.
Added thrill of posting their pranks to Instagram and TikTok for all their friends to see. But Ding Dong Ditch can sometimes have tragic consequences. Anurag Chandra chased a bunch of Ding Dong Ditchers in his car. He ran them off the road near Los Angeles. 3 of the teenagers were killed. He was sentenced to life without parole in July. And this is how 15-year-old Jaden Sanchez looked after he...
I was unprepared for that, y'all. What? Like, how do you even process in your mind? See, this is where, again, what I'm saying. These adults are not processing. These are children, right? They're idiots. Yes, of course. And they're annoying, okay? And it's frustrating. And maybe you've got a crying baby that won't shut up, and it's finally sleeping, and now these idiots come by and do this, and this baby hasn't slept in 5 days, and you're gonna lose your ever-loving mind. In fact, you did. I get it, fine. But you're gonna go and throw away your life and the life of these children, like, forever. Cause why? Because of a ding dong. What? We had to rewind that. Because I got to catch this one again, because I'm not even sure what the hell happened. We got to catch this again, because...
Consequences. Anurag Chandra chased a bunch of Ding Dong Ditchers in his car. He ran them off the road near Los Angeles. 3 of the teenagers were killed. He was sentenced to life without parole in July. And this is how 15-year-old...
Children? This man went to prison. Life without parole, sure, right? But look at these kids. These are kids. This is the risk you're taking. And it is so sad in 2023 that we have to say this to kids. I get it. Seems ridiculous. I get it. But guess what? This is what you are risking. You think it's cute. You think it's funny. You think, I got a car. I can do this. I got a bike. I can get away. I'm fast as hell. And it's going to be so funny to put on TikTok. And yeah, man went to prison for life without parole because 3 of the kids, that means there was at least 1 more kid in the car. You think that kid that lived, what do you think he's doing with his life? You think he's chill? He's good? He's fine? He's doing another TikTok challenge? Living his life? It's okay? Y'all, we need to do something to step between these kids and these challenges and social media and the inability to process the consequences and not getting worse because everyone's equating life to video games because they live so much of their life through the internet. Right? We've got to do something because the amount of kids that are dying, really dying, because of internet challenges is wild. But of course, far more are just injured badly. We're going to see with the next kid coming up here.
Teenagers were killed. He was sentenced to life without parole in July. And this is how 15-year-old Jaden Sanchez looked after he ding-dong ditched the wrong house in Delaware. Turned out the homeowner was a state trooper and chased him down in his patrol car. The trooper has been suspended pending an investigation.
He suffered a broken bone in his face. He suffered a very bad concussion. This was a vicious assault.
Okay, y'all, I know. We started off with the whole trooper thing, but I'm a little low-key obsessed about this. What in the hell? We got to learn about this one. I don't know.
I think we can all agree that Ding Dong Ditch is one of the least harmful pranks that you can play. I mean, you ring someone's doorbell and then you run away. It's something that you would kill somebody over, right? Unless you're this guy. His name is Anurag.
I do think it depends on what time of day it is. The kids doing the Ding Dong Ditch stuff at night is a problem because if it's during someone's, needing to sleep, no. Harming someone's ability to sleep or their kids' abilities to sleep and whatever is not the most harmless prank. But it's still not worthy of what this dude did. Okay, let's go, Mr. Chandra.
And early on in 2020, 6 teenagers ding-dong ditched his house. And when they got in their car to drive away, that's when Anurag took things from 0 to 100 real quick. And by the way, I mean that literally, because he got in his own...
Before the pandemic even started, it was early 2020. Dude!
Car and sped 100 miles an hour down the road just to catch up with the teenagers. He ended up running them off the road and into a tree. Tragically, 3 of the kids in the car died on impact, and Anurag, he fled the scene. Thankfully, police were able to catch up with Anurag and arrest him. And get this, his excuse for what he did was that he was mad, not a good reason, that he was afraid for his family's life because of a ding-dong ditch. Anurag, are you kidding me? And that he had had 12 beers that same night before he drove. I don't think it was really a surprise when a jury found him guilty of all his crimes. And hopefully, he'll be put away for a long time.
Actually, this is not as harmless as people seem to think it is. 11 years ago, 4 kids shot and killed while ding-dong ditching. Damn. Right? 5 years ago, Omaha man faces felonies after boys ding-dong ditch. 3 years ago, a man went to prison for life for running 3... Dude, it is not as harmless as people seem to think it is. I don't know. Not at all. Not at all. Well, I don't know. Y'all listen, I understand kids, it's almost like a time-honored tradition. You gotta do it or something. I don't know. Every kid has done it once. I get it, right? But dude, times are changing. And you gotta look at the climate of where you live, where you're at. You gotta talk to your kids, y'all. I mean, the trooper's only suspended. What do y'all think about that? You think he should lose his job? Do we punish people for what they do when they're off duty? They're just inside of their house at the time? Or, I don't know. What do y'all think? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Starting off with you, Zel. What do you think?
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your K-O-B. You about to lose.
Shout out to Chaden in the Kit Chat. He's up there, that's my guy right here. He always got the dancing and bringing a good energy. But
oh, okay. What's up, Chadian?
I think that's how you say it.
It feels like Canadian, but like a little like Chadian Canadian. Do you know what I mean? Like that would work out really well. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, ding dong ditches. That's like a tradition. I don't know why you would take it that far. Again, we have seen people. I don't know what it is. I've seen people so many times go and just shoot at random cars of people they know are children. They're like, "Hey, this 18, 16-year-old just came in," and then they all be like, I was scared." Like, sir, that is a little girl who is like 110 pounds. You do not have to get your gun.
Right. I mean, but in this case, right, neither one of these men are claiming they were scared, right? The trooper didn't claim he was scared when he decided he wanted to beat a kid senseless, right? Like that wasn't what happened. Anorak, he was like, "Yo, I did it. Yeah, I killed 50% of the kids in that car. Yes, I did."
He said proud.
Really? He was
like,
good.
He was like, I was mad.
That's what it was. I swear that man, like everything I saw, like when I went and dug deeper, he was good. Like he wasn't trying to pretend he didn't do it or whatever. Like he's one of them dudes who he killed them kids and then called and say, "Yup, there was a motor vehicle accident. Yeah, it was me." Like he didn't care. He did not care.
I was 13 beers in and I was mad.
That's what it was. I swear to God, the man said it. Now, this is reason number 655 why you should not drink and drive, you know, and reason number 656 why just because you're in your house when you're getting wasted and you're a bad, angry drunk, why you should therefore just not drink even though you're at your house and you're allowed to be as drunk as you want in your house, because sometimes something might entice you to leave the house. And now you've lost your entire life. You get to live with the idea that you took the life of 3 separate children, and you get to live with the idea that it was all over ding dong ditch. Do you know how stupid you're going to sound? Or, okay, even if you said Nicky Nicky Nine Doors, which is better sounding, but like, yeah, I killed 3 kids because of Nicky Nicky Nine Doors. Yeah, that's right. They Nicky Nicky Nine Doors to me, and I said, "Not again, kids, not again." And I ended them. Like, you're a cop. You threw away your career, your pension, your everything, and probably your safety while you sit in prison for a while because you decided you wanted to beat a kid up over Nicky Nicky Nine. Yeah, he Nicky Nicky Nine Doors me. And I was like, I was off duty, but I'll show you. What is wrong with these people? Like, this one, I'm like, I don't even know if I can be mad at the kids. People have been doing this since the dominant time. I bet you maybe not Anorak, but certainly the one who was born and raised in America probably did it himself as a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, what?
Rostin gave you the whole game plan on how to make it work. Look at it. This the whole game plan right here.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, for all of y'all who point out that, you know, some of the things I tell y'all I did when I was younger, I was a menace. Genetics, right? Genetics right here. Genetic. This is why I was also like a genius level menace right here. That was it. I'm sorry. That's what it is.
And we can add that Florida is crazy because one of them was in Texas. One of them in Texas, one in Florida. Or am I wrong?
No, I really looked hard to see if any of my stories were in Florida because I wanted to blame Florida, but no. It was just not. I know.
I want to blame Florida.
Yeah, I wanted to blame Florida, but I couldn't. Sorry.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Thursday, Florida's coming. Florida's coming.
But yeah, we'll definitely give you an update on this story because I really want to see this cop in particular. Like, I keep saying it, but they keep doing these things to kids. I really want to see these cops that are coming for kids like this. I really want to see them pay this year. So I'll keep y'all updated.
And this is an age-old question. Does size matter? In my next video, we'll discuss it. It's a little short video, but it's going to be a great discussion. Let's go. What's up, my it's your boy Officer May, and of course we are here talking about the UFC fighter Zel Bradley Martin to accept street fight challenge. I would do, he said. Why does this matter? It doesn't. It's just some machismo thing I want to go through and want to get y'all thoughts on, because This UFC fighter name is Martin. Bradley Martin is a social media influencer, bodybuilder, whereas UFC middleweight contender Sean Strickland has issued a start warning to social media influencer Bradley Martin, who has been challenging professional fighters to street fights. For y'all that don't know, this guy right here is saying that they too small, too little, and they can't fight him. Of course, it makes no sense because he can't really fight, even though he does a little. They say he has some jiu-jitsu experience, so I'm not going to completely dismiss the man, but he's not fighting no middleweight Sean Strickland in a street fighting winner. In an interview with Nina Marie Danielle, Strickland didn't miss words. Who is Bradley Martin? I don't know this Bradley Martin, but if you're here right now and I can get away with it, I would take your life. I would put my gun down and take your life. Sign a waiver and we'll see how many bones I can break in your face. Like I said, of course, this is some machismo. Story's a little light this week, so it's a little machismo. It's a chill week. We just want to get out some news and give you out. So it's gonna be a little shorter video, but like, how do you feel? What do y'all think? Do y'all think UFC fighters can beat bodybuilders and bigger men, or do the bigger men would just weigh them down and bear hug them and they get their grips on them and they can't win? I want to know. I want to know honest thoughts from the ladies and the men in the chat. What do y'all think will happen to this man if he met him in the ring? This is the guy who Bradley Martin, the influencer. He is the one who said he would beat them up. He would grab them. They couldn't handle them. They're too small. So does size matter? Ladies, does size matter? Men, does size matter? Shout out to my shirt, August 1st, 1991. I got it on the shirt. Yeah. Aged like fine wine, of course. But I want to know y'all thoughts. I honestly want to know. Let me know how y'all feeling, what y'all thinking. Could this big old giant man right here beat a UFC fighter in a fight? Yes or no? And like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. By the way, I want to say this. I'm happy to be back. Like I said, the story's gonna be like this week. We're getting back into the groove. We're getting back into the groove. So I'm excited to see what's happening next and what we got upcoming for y'all. Appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe one more time. Peace. Fun fact, this story was actually for a Monday show. It was actually for a Monday show, but I was supposed to do a Seagull story, but Ruby shamed me and asked me, is all your stories weird? And I was like, okay, I won't do it.
I just asked. See how he said it was my fault, but all I did was ask a question? Okay. First of all. Second of all, for all of y'all who are like, why does he look normal and like good in his videos, but then you guys keep coming here and like he looks weird? It's because his workplace demands that he looks weird to be professional. That is to say,
same shirt though.
Yeah, at least you got the shirt. Just this. Yeah, but if y'all wanted to know, right? Because both of us have hair changes when we're here, but that's what happened. His workplace demanded the facial. Yeah, we don't approve. Neither of us approve of this new change. He's trying to grow it back in time for I don't even know what. Listen, we love you anyway, Zel. It's fine. It's cool. But to answer your question, actually, we're talking about this on Gray Pill, on the Gray Pill podcast. I do that on Tuesdays, y'all. And we were just talking about this. And so I said, because I've trained in Kung Fu when I was younger, but I also did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My BJJ instructor was Claude. He was in the MFC and then the UFC. And then I also trained in Muay Thai. So because in all of those things, I basically only had men to train against. And, at various ages, I was talking about that. And I was saying, like, listen, it comes down to that your weight matters, your size, height matters, right? And too large of a disparity, period, is going to affect you. Then I said, well, with women, we have our muscles are more for endurance and men's are for instant power. So you're going to have a difference there as well. So when you're talking about reach, you're talking about your ability to use your leverage. You're talking about your ability to if you were standing behind somebody, and so in order to do this particular hold, you would have to reach over them. But what if you're too short to do that? Then you'd have to be able to get on top of them to be able to So there's a lot of complication there, right? But if you are talking about someone who's incredibly well trained versus someone who's not trained at all, I'm going to say that the person who's very well trained is going to win, period. That's it. Because if you are, especially like if you are UFC, you probably have one standing combat, something like Muay Thai, and then you have something that, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is grappling. So you would be training in how to take someone down who's much bigger than you, or how to get someone who's much bigger than you. What would be a tactic you would be able to use to even the score, so to say, right? Especially if you knew it was coming. Like, it's not like a shock thing or whatever, right? So yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go with the trained professional is gonna win, no matter what the size disparity is.
I agree. Like, this dude would get he tried to wrestle some 56-year-old like non-successful UFC fighter that was like 190. It's not quite 160, and he basically got choked. And I'm like, bro, this old 56-year-old man just proved that he choked you out. And he was like the lower level of the old UFC when they had like the big fat dudes and the sumo dudes around. And this dude just whooped you. So you telling me Sean Strickland, who just won the UFC championship this weekend from Israel Adesanya, would not destroy you? You are insane. Now, if you were trained, he would be in trouble because he is 100 pounds less than you. But you have no training, sir. You have no training. You will get destroyed. It'd be fun to watch though. Watch this big old giant dude just get choked up. And probably try to
like, it would be like the equivalent of thinking like size matters. So if you were like a short boxer versus an untrained tall guy, that the tall guy is going to win just because his reach is longer. Like, are you crazy? Like, no, that 1,000% would just never be true. It just can't be true. It's just the stupid thing to say. And people who have made these types of statements against other types of professional fighters have lived to regret those types of statements. So good luck. I guess that's gonna go well.
No, he's not gonna fight him. He's gonna run. That 56-year-old man humbled him.
True fact. True fact. All right, now listen. Y'all, again, sorry, we took an extended vacation. I know. However, okay, we have a lot of suggestions from y'all, and, you know, we're going to do our best to get those suggestions in over time, you know, especially if updates come around and stuff, so it's new and fresh again and whatever. I had to cover this. I had to do this one, even though it's a little bit older, because what is happening? I didn't even, like, this entire story from beginning to end blew me away. We have to give a shout out to Char Willie for this one because she always comes. But wow, this story just blew my mind, and it just goes to show you, like, you better cross, you know, all your T's, dot all your I's, and really, really protect yourself whenever you're renting an apartment. Let's check out this story. It's crazy. All right, y'all. Hope you're loving the new look. Me and Zel each are now a year older, a year wiser, a year more gorgeous like a fine wine. So I figured, you know what? Better updo the things just a little bit. And you will see some other changes coming in the next couple weeks. I know you guys are as excited as we are. But let's get started, okay? And so I really wanted to make sure that I did do some user submissions, user suggestions today, because we have been gone for like a month. And I know that you guys came back today just because y'all love us so much. Y'all came and showed some support. Some of y'all were in the replay gang, including this next person who suggests some stuff. But either way, y'all still showed up for us, even though we disappeared for like a month to do us and get ourselves together. So I thought it was only fair that we show y'all some love and say thank you so much. And so, like I said, this is actually from one of our most loyal supporters. You see her down there in the chat all the time, modded and up for us. Shout out. Thank you so much to Char Willie for this story suggestion. All right, now y'all, there's a lot of things. I'm going to tell you, Char Willie is an amazing sleuth. I don't know where she finds these stories. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I had the talent she has when it comes to uncovering these crazy stories. But y'all, listen, I didn't even dive deep. I listened to the first 45 seconds. I went, whoa, nope, pause. We're definitely doing this on the show. But I want to be as shocked as y'all are. So let's all watch this together. Check it out.
A Deep Ellum man says everything he and his daughter owned was thrown in a dumpster after the management of his apartment building accidentally ordered maintenance to clean out his rental.
Yeah, it turns out apartment management had the wrong unit number, and now that man says that he is out tens of thousands of dollars.
Building management argues he never should have been living there to begin with. Consumer reporter Steve Noviello is on your side.
Imagine that for 1 second, y'all.
Here, a TV stand.
Just imagine that for 1 second. A different apartment than yours needs to be evicted. The building manager, whomever, goes and gets that job done. Okay, kudos to you. I guess they weren't paying the rent, whatever. Except, oops, just like when the cops accidentally raided the wrong apartment. Y'all accidentally evicted the wrong apartment, threw away all the stuff and all that. And your response is, well, they shouldn't have been there. No way. And of course, when we take a look, who are the victims in this case? Black people. But it's only Black people that could be treated with so much nonchalance when you do something this wrong to them. Let's keep listening. This is crazy, and we are 25 seconds in. This is where I stop. So y'all, we're learning together.
Viello is on your side tonight.
Used to have a couch here, a TV stand with the TV.
After Johnny Abney spent years building a life.
This was my daughter's snack drawer.
For himself and his 9-year-old daughter.
It was a closet full of clothes.
This is all that's left of their stuff.
Everything gone.
Everything they own.
Clothing items, all my groceries. They cleared out my whole refrigerator full of groceries.
Is gone.
Well, we had a shower curtain here.
Not stolen, thrown in the dumpster by order of the management at the Hamilton, the high-end mid-rise apartment building where Johnny and his daughter lived in the Deep Ellum neighborhood of Dallas.
They came to my door and cleaned everything out, from my daughter's clothes to my clothes to everything, from a toothbrush, bathing items. They pretty much left me with nothing.
It's all in this police report Johnny filed when he returned home from work in late July to find his apartment door unlocked and the contents cleared out. According to the report's narrative, a leasing agent on site said there was a misunderstanding and maintenance accidentally cleared out Abney's unit instead of the unit next door where a tenant was being evicted.
Why is it so hard for these people in charge to not even write down the right numbers? Because it seems like they're writing down the right numbers, but the people who are following through on these orders, whether it be evictions or, again, home raids by police or whatever, you go 2, 3, 1. I see a 1. That's enough. Who cares what the last number is? Let's just follow through. Bro, they're next door to each other, sure, but the numbers are different on the doors. And you're not talking about some low-key slum. Maybe it's the numbers aren't even all on the door, or it's covered in graffiti you couldn't see. These are high-end apartments. So you could probably see the numbers quite clearly. So how is it that you managed to evict the incorrect apartment? And to the point where the stuff is gone. It's not like you started and then somewhere in the middle you went, oops. Okay, hold on, sorry. Okay, we just gotta put your stuff back in. Our bad, we'll give you a new lock. No, it was so no one, there's no checks, no balances, no nothing. It wasn't until after all the stuff was already gone, that you realized your mistake? How? Okay, let's keep watching. I can't even do this, man. Y'all, my heart can't take this kind of thing. Oh my God.
All of Johnny's belongings had been thrown in the dumpster hours earlier and had been picked over by the other residents. This is video Johnny took of his discarded stuff. He says his mattress had been urinated on.
Not only did they put my stuff out, they watched people take all my property all day.
Property management offered to get what they could from the trash and return it to Johnny's unit. Johnny said they even had that stained mattress professionally cleaned, but most of his and his daughter's stuff was gone for good.
This door is completely gone, and this one, they just completely just broke it.
Much of what did make it back from the dumpster, he showed us, was damaged.
They told me that it was a mistake. They apologized the first night. They were overly apologetic, like, let us know anything missing.
But that quickly took a turn.
Even though it was your stuff, it's her apartment. It's under her name. The contract is in her name and her name solely.
This is video Johnny recorded of a conversation he had with one of the leasing agents who was quick to point out the apartment in which he and his daughter lived was leased by his ex-girlfriend who had since moved out of state. Johnny was subletting without permission, and even though these receipts provided to us by an attorney for the Hamilton show that Johnny paid the near $3,000 in rent each month, any direct discussion about making him whole was off the table.
We are binded by law. We cannot discuss anything with anybody that is not her.
According to this lawsuit Johnny has now filed against the property management company, they gave him 24 hours to fill out his own rental application or face eviction.
I've already lost property. Now you're trying to kick me off the property at short notice with no resolve.
Here's the eviction notice. It was posted on his door the next day.
Rent was paid in full. There was no reason to go into his apartment. There was no reason to throw anything away.
Jason Friedman is Johnny's attorney. He says the issue of who was on the lease is irrelevant.
The apartment building, they didn't know when they threw all that stuff away whose stuff it was.
None at all.
Whether
None
it was
at all.
the person on the lease or his.
And adds Johnny chose not to fill out the application or pay the fee required for one very simple reason.
He chose not to because he said, I want to resolve the situation with my property.
Hell no. Pay what? Listen, you could have done me all the dirty in the world. I'm telling you. If you were my ex, right, I left the apartment. Obviously, first of all, you were living up in the apartment with the permission, right, of the people. Like, people knew that you lived there, obviously. Then you and I break up. And I say, yo, deuces, you can stay here if you want, but now all the rent's on you. And you say, yeah, I'm gonna stay. Cool. Now all the checks are coming out of your bank account in your name, and you know that they know. There's no question here what's happening. No one's confused. And y'all are good with that. Anyhow, I caught wind that this is what you were doing to my ex. Trust me, I would show up. And suddenly that would be my apartment still. All of that property was mine, etc. There would be no illegal subletting. I still live here. And what? Do you see what I'm saying? Who the hell? Y'all, listen. Y'all, these snaky, disgusting people. Like, they know too, because this is what they do. This is what they do to people of a certain persuasion, right? This is what they do. This is what they choose to do. And they know that they're going to scare most people away. They're going to scare them away. So you know what? Instead of suing you, within an inch of your bank account being in permanent overdraft forever, right? They figure you'll back off. You'll run away. That's what they're wanting. That's what they're needing. That's what they're expecting. Okay? Let's keep it a buck. That's why they did this to this man and his child after what they did. No discussions of making him whole, but legally you can't this and that. Bro, possession is 9/10 of the law. If you are a landlord, this is where they're screwing themselves over, okay? This is where they're screwing themselves over. If you're a landlord, like a legit landlord, you own some type of property, whatever, and then you rent it out. Or even better than that, if you have an Airbnb client for a day or two, and that Airbnb client just refuses to leave, and they stop paying you, and it gets past a certain amount of time, which is not a long amount of time. It could be somewhere 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. It doesn't matter what it is. You going into their place and just throwing their stuff out is illegal. It is actually illegal. You are not allowed to do that. Even if they've never been a legal tenant. Even if they have been violating from moment one. Real talk. It is a real problem. Y'all remember, like, people have been going live about this and going viral about this happening to them over Airbnbs and stuff. So I'm not really sure with these people must be really panicking and thinking to themselves like, oh my God, we got to buy some time, man. We do not have the money. We don't have the money to repay this. Because if they really think that a man who's been paying you $3,000 a month for all of this time and has never been a problem, whatever, and has been in possession of that apartment all this time, if they really think that they're allowed to go into his apartment and throw his stuff away in the trash, if they really believe that, boy, are they about to learn a very hard lesson. A very hard lesson. Because, like I said, even if you were entirely illegally broke into a place and just started squatting there, once you're there for a certain amount of time, they can't just take your stuff out of there and just throw it in the garden. You have to go to court and get an actual eviction note. Like, someone has to rule on it. They figure that, you know, black people are uneducated, black people are afraid, black people are broke, black people can, you know, be chased off easily. That's the only reason why they're doing this. But, like, don't get it twisted. They're not going to win. They're not going to win. They can't. They can't. Trust me. The people who have been doing Airbnbs and stuff like that, landlords, it's been going viral for the last couple of years. Dude, the law is not on your side as the landlord. But in this case, the law shouldn't be on your side. It's not even a gray area.
You threw away before I decide if I'm going to stay in this building.
An attorney for the Hamilton, who would not speak to us on camera but did communicate by phone and email, said on behalf of the building, even if Johnny did fill out the rental application, he would have been denied because he already violated the lease terms as an unauthorized occupant.
With me losing all my property, that's the last thing on my mind.
According to the lawsuit, the Hamilton also alleged there was counterfeit money pulled from Johnny's things. Another reason they say he would not be welcome to stay. We asked them to provide a police report.
Or any form of evidence is true.
At all.
Any form.
They provided none.
Of course not.
Underwear, toothpaste, everything.
Back at Johnny's, among the discarded pile of trashed school supplies with which his daughter was supposed to start the 5th grade, we found our own. This play money, clearly marked as copy, right next to what's left of his daughter's bed.
We sent a list of questions to the Hamilton via their attorney. They all went unanswered. They would not sit down with us for an on-camera interview. They did say that they asked Johnny for a list of what was missing from his refrigerator so that they could establish a value for reimbursement. Johnny says that actually never happened.
Of course it didn't, because they don't care.
His daughter moved out just a few days after we met him. They are now staying with family temporarily.
Bro, that's flagrant. That is flagrant disrespect. That is flagrant. And I told you, I knew that this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to scare that man into submitting, into silence. It's so disgusting. It is disgusting that people think that they can treat anybody, you know, but especially like a single father just trying to do the best he can with a 10-year-old moments before school's about to start. Yeah. I hope he sues not just for what he should sue for, obviously, for the value of all of his property, including the mattress, because you couldn't pay me to use that mattress. Someone urinated on it. God knows what else. I don't care how much you clean that mattress. Neither me nor my child sleeping on it. Are you crazy? Putting that back in my house? Are you crazy? No, like homeless and poor. Dude. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think about this story, because this is absolutely insane. Couldn't be me. I'm not even sure I could hold my composure till court. That is filthy.
Listen, I'm rooting for that. I'm rooting for a defamation lawsuit. They try to claim he was a counterfeiter, and it's a kid's copy money, and it's there to say copy. It's a kid's money. Listen, that is absolutely insane. By the way, shout out to my guy for being able to pay $3,000 a month on rent, because that's a lot. That's a lot of money. So $3,000 a month, being able to pay that off. Pretty sure in a nice area. He probably didn't want to lose that, but then they did him dirty because they probably said he probably don't deserve to be in this area. How dare he be in this area?
No, it wasn't him. They evicted the wrong people.
Yeah, that too.
So you missed it.
They didn't even.
No, you missed it. Someone in the it was like say 2022 versus 2023. He 2023. 2022 got evicted, right? Because you can't just evict people because you feel like it. You have to go to court and get a warrant of eviction, right? And then you can just throw people's stuff out. So they did that because 2022 did wrong. They did wrong and they deserved to be evicted. So they went through the eviction process and got the okay to evict 2022 as of September 1st, right? Okay. So then finally September 1st comes, they come with their little warrant of eviction, they open the door because now they're allowed to, and they take all the stuff and they throw it down in the garbage. Only the warrant of eviction is for 2023, not for 2022. They threw out the stuff from the wrong apartment. Something they only noticed when 2023 came home and went, where's all of my stuff? Like they had been robbed. And then at that point, they were like, oh, they were horrified initially. That's why they got the mattress clean and whatever. But you know, they were hoping that this guy would just quietly go away. And he's like, bro, I have a 10-year-old. I can't just go away. You threw away all of our stuff. You need to make me whole. And at that point, then they went, oh, well, actually, no, we don't. Because we found a way to get ourselves out of this, they think. But the thing is they're wrong. So this was not like, they didn't intentionally go for this guy and his kid because this guy has paid his rent religiously and on time and in full. That's all a landlord cares about. Trust me, they did not try to get rid of this man. Nope. They screwed up bad. And now they're trying to save themselves from having to replace his whole life. Because they're going to have to replace his whole life. That's why they're like, oh, well, if you sign a lease right now, Frederick, he paid $3,000 a month for, how long was it? Him and the girl, I think, broke up like 2-3 years ago.
How long is
2 or 3 years?
How long is this lease?
That's what I'm trying to say, right? So after the lease is up, then you're on month to month. But the point is that first of all, he lived there while the woman was there, right? Which means they were probably notified. Even if they weren't, it doesn't matter. Possession is 9/10 of the law. And that is actually true when it comes to this. It actually is true. You can't just take someone's stuff out of place, even if they are illegally in the place. If a squatter breaks into a place that is untenanted and starts just living there, and they can prove they've been living there for some states, it's as short as 2 weeks. They can prove that you've been living there. You can't just kick them out. You can't just throw them out. You can't just take their stuff out of there. It's actually illegal for you to do that. It's illegal for you to change the locks on them. It's illegal for you to go in there and throw away their stuff. Even if they are illegally there, you can't just do that. Like, you can't, right? Like, it's like they didn't even have a reason to petition him for eviction, but they didn't. The point is they never did petition him for eviction. They never had the right to go in there and throw his stuff away, even if he isn't on the lease. Doesn't matter. They literally could not do what they did. Couldn't do it. But they went, oh, he's a black man, so we're going to threaten him and he'll back down. He'll go away. Because that's what happens, right? This black man who is the only parent to this kid is going to be afraid. This happens a lot. He's going to be afraid of going to prison or something because now they're going to make up lies about him. And honestly, a lot of times the lies get believed, right? So they've been trying to make this man go away from the very beginning. Oh, well, we cleaned the filthy peed on mattress for you. Oh, well, we'll give you a voucher for some food to fill your fridge back up, which they never did, by the way. They just kept making up excuses. But they never did anything that they promised to do, and then they backed out of it because they can't afford it to replace probably tens of thousands of dollars, right? Like, he's got his couches, TV. Think about all the things you have in your house right now, and imagine you came home and they were all gone. Like, they need to sue him real good, doesn't he? Oh my gosh. Oh, bro, this story got me heated for real. Like, it got me I can't even believe, because I'm just imagining it.
If this story got you heated, the next one might set you off.
Oh no, I don't even think I want to know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's get going so we can get to the Karens and my blood, right? Okay.
This story is about the Goon Squad. You don't know who the Goon Squad is? I lived in the next county from the Goon Squad a few months ago, so I don't doubt, but I did. So now I'm next to the smart little girl who black and doing black accent. So we moved on up. But yeah, this story might set you off, trigger warning, because a lot of the stuff you say police do, they got caught. So let's go look.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what? You know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Now this is something that affects me directly. It affects because it comes from my state. Now, not only my state, it comes to the county right next to mine, and this is one of the issues that we have, not only in my state, but across the country. So I do want to go over this, and we're going to have a deeper discussion, a short discussion, but a deeper discussion on this issue. Let's let NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, shout out to Lester Holt, let's see what he's talking about, and we're going to go over my issues with this. Let's go talk.
In Mississippi, 6 former law enforcement officers have pleaded guilty to federal charges after investigators say the white officers tortured 2 black men for hours, then tried to cover up the crime. Miguel Almaguer now with what the victims are telling us tonight.
Tonight, Eddie Parker and Michael Jenkins say justice can be served now that the 6 white Mississippi law enforcement officers who beat them for nearly 2 hours have entered guilty pleas.
Finally gave up. I knew how it was to give up.
Right now, this is in Rankin County. And if you know anything about Rankin County, I know a lot of you don't. One thing is the police, they don't really mess with people. They don't mess with nobody. We're not just gonna say black people. They don't like no one. They are the property most. No telling how much they set up people, anything. They will set up their grandma. If it gets them money and can get them some raise, they will set up their grandma. They will give her a ticket. They will kick her out the house just to make her mad so she can go to jail. Listen, it is corrupt over there. And I'm not even just saying, but it's especially bad for. I'm just saying, you know. It
wasn't a surviving. It was a hoping I'll make it to the end.
Prosecutors in Mississippi say the officers tortured, used racial slurs, and sexually assaulted the 2 black men inside a Braxton home last January. Court documents reveal the officers, who called themselves the Goon Squad, broke down the door, beat, tased, and threatened to rape Parker and
do you know how insane it is that, let me get that
Jenkins, while calling them,
you know how insane it is to Goon Squad. You know how sick you have to be to want to do all them to other grown men. That's like some weird power play.
The N-word and monkeys, as they accuse the men of sleeping with white women.
They coming there to do it.
Oh yeah, in Mississippi, you in them little racist areas. I'm warning y'all right now. If you in them little racist areas, they don't like that. They don't like you doing that. Now, in my hometown, you almost ain't got no choice. You know, I know some of them older ones, don't like it at all, but they ain't gonna do nothing about it because we more of a mix. Over there in that county, nah, they ain't quite as mixed.
They wanted to do.
They look mixed, but they ain't quite.
They came to do what they did.
The 5 Rankin County Sheriff's deputies, Brett McAplin, Jeffrey Middleton, Christian Dedman,
make sure y'all remember them names.
Hunter Elward, and Daniel Opdyke were joined by Richland police officer Joshua Hartfield. The federal complaint says one officer put a gun in Jenkins' mouth, pulled the trigger, and nearly killed him.
What did I do? Are these, really officers? Do they do this? Why are they doing it to me?
Authorities say the officers tried to cover up their crime by planting a gun in the home and drugs on the victims after.
See, y'all ever heard them stories about police planning on people? I got a question I want everybody to understand. How do you think black people in the hood get drugs? They don't have like a Mexican connect. I always think about something like that. I just want y'all to understand.
Their so-called raid. The officers charged with several crimes, including civil rights violations and obstruction of justice.
In their minds, the law and the Constitution be damned. They became the criminals they swore to protect us from.
After their guilty plea to federal charges, the members of the so-called Goon Squad still face state charges and years behind bars.
Thanks for watching.
Listen, let's go. We get them to state charge. We're going to get them out of here. We don't want that kind here. We don't want that kind. Now, we, of course, the Mississippi Goon Squad officers are part of a larger law enforcement problems, experts say. I want to read this report, and I want to actually go over it and ask us to think about it. Experts say rogue groups like the so-called Mississippi Goon Squad have long been a problem in the U.S. 6 former Mississippi police officers, some of whom reportedly called themselves the Goon Squad, pleaded guilty this month in a racist attack on Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker, 2 black men who endured hours of torture from the officers this January. Rankin County Sheriff Brian Bailey said at a news conference August 3rd that the police badge was tarnished by the criminal acts of these few individuals. We have shown some great police work, by the way. I don't want anybody who's just watching this video on his own just be like, oh, y'all against police, one bad apple. Don't. We have showcased the man in Florida who saved a black man from drowning in a sinkhole. We have showed that we have many cases where police officers do their jobs and help black people. We have showed it. But these police not calling these out and making sure these people don't get away with it is a problem that we gotta fix. We gotta fix in this country. Over the past decade, more than 80,000 law enforcement officers across the country have been disciplined on investigated for misconduct. 80,000. I just want you to understand how big that number is. 80,000. In addition, there are a number of instances where police officers, being members of white supremacist groups, gangs, or expressing white supremacist views, Johnson said. In 2006, the FBI warned the white supremacist group were infiltrating police departments. According to Michael Chairman, a former special agent with the FBI and fellow Brennan Center of Justice, the formation of a group like the Goon Squad is not a rare occurrence. This has been a part of a fabric of law enforcement for this country for some time. And in fact, it goes back to the history of police and then the Jim Crow era, which is true, by the way. You can look it up. You don't have to argue. A lot of rogue groups are officially created by the police department, Chairman said. So in Baltimore, you look at the gun crime task force that was involved in all kind of criminal activity, including episodes of violence and drug dealing and theft of drugs. Most recently, the street crime operation to restore the peace in our neighborhoods on Scorpion Unit was accused of brutally beating and killing Tyreek Nichols in January following a traffic stop resulting in a murder charge for 5 former officers who was involved. You see, it's like a trend. My question to y'all is, how do we fix this? I don't want everybody being like, oh, we'll just get rid of this or that. I want to know honest things on how to fix this problem. So I want everybody to give your thoughts on this. Tell me in the comments. Let us know, how can we fix this issue that's continually happening in our country with the people who are supposed to protect our lives. Again, not against the police, but we have to admit there's a problem with our police. Because they're somehow becoming subgroups such as the Goon Squad and other squads which are randomly naming themselves, who are part of weird organizations and banding together to harass people and do things and get missions together. We have to figure out, how do we stop this problem and anything. So I want a discussion in the comments. I expect this comment section to be full of great discussion, arguments even, because we all don't think the same. And hopefully we can come up with some ideas. And then I'll do a video. I'll do a video on all the ideas that we come together and made opposite ideas, arguments, everything. And let's try to settle this problem. Why? Because we do have a problem. Especially if you want to say you love everybody and you're part of the Jesus Squad. Remember, Zel Reacts, like and subscribe, all that stuff. And let's go fix these problems. Let's actually be proactive. Let's not name call and do all that things, because these people are wrong and they're going to jail. They pleaded guilty. Now, I will do a story on how long they get, because if they don't get the time I expect them to get, then you're going to see me go off. No more Zenzel, no more even Zel, no more let's try to figure out issues. Now I got like the problem is broken, burn it down. Like and subscribe, that notification bell. Follow us at I'll Be That News. Hit that link tree and all that stuff. Listen, that story is sickening. They did everything you say police do. Everything people claim the police do, all the problem police have. They got a name, they got a squad, they all part of these white supremacist group. They knew they did so bad that they pleaded guilty, Ruby. They like, we did it. All the evidence against us, we know we did it.
Well, here's the thing. You can't actually fix the problem. And the reason why you can't fix the problem is because the police in America, at least, were literally made to catch slaves. That's what the police were. And so you have an entire the policing system. It doesn't matter how modernized you've made it or whatever. The policing system is still based on the premise that Black people are inferior and need to be caught and then either returned to their masters or put in some type of, camp where they can't leave and, do free labor. So either way, that's the problem. And you see that with the laws, you see that with everything in general, that this system was created with a particular thing in mind. And that's why they keep getting exposed, but they're not really being exposed. It's the same thing. Like how many times do we have to see these squads getting disbanded and cops from these
80,000 of them, Ruby.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, dude, 1990s after that kid from Africa was shot 42 times in his own doorway for existing. And then that was Amadou Diallo. That's when they disbanded Stop and Frisk. And, it's like over and over and over again. But we know that these things exist and they just keep putting them back together because that's what the system was made for. That's what the system was made for. So it's not going away because that's what the system was made for. So you would have to make a new system. The system, as people say, right? Oh, the system is broken. No, the system's working great. That's what the system was made to do. That's why they keep making. This is what the system was made to do. The system was made to do this. The system was made that no matter how democracy has changed or advancements are made and whatever, that Black people are still second-class citizens, and Black people, we still ultimately want to trap them and put them into a camp-like situation where they have to do free labor for us, right? I mean, look at that. That's what it is, or die, and that's what it is.
I want people to understand how big this 80,000 number of police officers. There are only 600 in 2021. I want to go off the year, according to Statistica. 660,000 police officers. 80,000 of those did misconduct related to being part of some group or racism.
Well, that's just what's been reported.
Yeah.
That's like seriously underreported, of course, right? And of course it's underreported.
That's 1/6 even reported and got written up by it. So that's how crazy that is.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, right, like Rosalind pointed out, right, why are the policing systems in general were created for the same purposes, right? Here, the policing system was created to do the same thing to Indigenous people. So, I mean, like, if that's what the policing systems were created to do, then they're going to keep doing it really well, no matter what else changes. So, yeah, you'd have to change the system if you want a different outcome. And until we want a different outcome, we're just going to keep pretending that we can do something with the system, or it's a few bad apples. It's just a few bad apples, just that's it. It's just a few bad apples. It's just not a systemic issue, right? Let's not learn about the systemic issues in college because we have to protect the children, say the right. Yeah.
That's why I tell everybody to vote, and vote smart, and vote in your interest, locally, statewide, and federal. Because a lot of people, in America specifically, because a lot of people say we don't need a vote, and then all of a sudden you get somebody in there that take your rights away, and now you upset. And then I'm like, well, if you voted against that person, your rights wouldn't have been taken away. And then I'm like, why the system doing me like that? Well, you didn't vote. And that's the Malcolm, like I did a thing. Malcolm X said, hey, if you don't vote, we might well just kick you out because you ain't part of that. Even if you think everybody corrupt, find somebody, find you a group of people, get together, get your local people, NAACP, whatever groups, and find somebody that's not corrupt and be like, hey, we pushing behind you. Do something, bro. Don't be just like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and then complain about it from behind the scenes and don't want no action. That's my only thing.
I mean, I think it's a fair point, but I think that people who don't vote, myself included, also have a fair and valid point, because again, It doesn't matter. Everything, the system's corrupt. The system's always going to be corrupt. People who are running things are always going to be corrupt. The problem is, again, that unless the system is revamped, it doesn't matter who's in power. It doesn't matter how good their intentions are. It doesn't matter what promises they make that they really mean. It doesn't matter. Not much is going to change. So if you care, like on a bigger level, about making really large changes, we're not at a place where voting is going to change that. Generally, it's not. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't vote. I'm just simply saying that, we have to do more than vote. Like, laws have to be changed, systems have to be changed, whole concepts need to be changed. Like, it's not just like, oh well, if only we had the right person in office, everything would be great. Like, no.
That's why I said bring groups of people in the local and start pushing up and get the changes, but you have to be together. You can't just let subgroups and egos and trust me, it's a lot of subgroups, it's a lot of backstabbing, it's a lot of, especially among our kind. Let's be honest, it's like if somebody can't tell you what to do, they're gonna set you up. I see all of it. It is destructive. Mm-hmm. Like, Zel ain't gonna tell this boy what to do. We gonna try to ruin Zel's life by making him look bad. Well, it wasn't Zel, it'll be Trevor in that case. But yeah, they'll do whatever. The good thing about me, I ain't got nothing on me right now. They might have something in the future, but they ain't got it right now. I don't believe it. Unless they want to side the weird news stories.
True. Well, listen, I'm tired of all this depressing stuff. Obviously, what we need right now is a little care and remedy, right? I mean, just, we don't want to send you away all depressed and miserable and, sad and miserable. So we're going to do a little Karening. Now I've got one Karen for you. Okay. And then I also have a bonus Karen. So first,
they're calling me Karen because I make them.
Are you Karen? Karen? Did y'all see that happen? What is happening here? Karen is trying to stop us from being great. What is going on? What? I've never even seen this happen. How? What? Why? Okay, listen. Do y'all see what happens? We try to bring you joy, and what do? They try to take it away. Not today, Karen. Not today. Do this again. Okay. What? What is, I don't think I've ever even seen this happen. I don't even know what the problem is at the moment.
I don't know. Is YouTube down? Are we live? I see Dantee's talking to us. I do be worried about YouTube being down.
It's not YouTube. I'm not even I'm not on YouTube. This is, what in the world is happening? Like, I've never, why is this, what?
They don't want
y'all. Are we good? Okay, hold on. I think I've got it, y'all. Because if I don't have it, everyone pray or do whatever you do. Because if I don't have this, then we ain't getting no Karen today. And like, seriously, my heart felt a little broken there. So let's take two. Take two. Everybody, cross fingers, pray, do what you need to do. Because
cross your fingers.
Y'all listen, y'all know it's going to be rocky. It's our first real full show back. Okay, let's go.
Calling me Karen because I make them nervous. Well, fine, call me that. I'm Karen about good service. I'd like to speak to the manager. I'd like to speak to the manager.
Right, so first off, shout out to Ms. Vonda for this suggestion. Ma'am, I found the full video of this particular Karen, or at least as much as this young man uploaded for us. And I don't know, y'all, right now I feel like we're voting. Is she a drunk or is she on drugs? I'm not sure. It could be both, but I'm going drunk. But I don't know. I don't want to influence y'all. Maybe she's just normally like this, but I'm still going drugs or drunk. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all vote. Okay, let's go. Back up.
Well, please, you better back up, lady. Please. Just go to your vehicle, please.
I'm not leaving here until you leave the parking lot that I live in.
Sweetheart, this is America. This is a free...
I know Black Lives Matter. Get your ass out of here. Get your fucking ass out of this parking lot. Now.
She knows Black Lives Matter, y'all. She knows this, okay? You're not gonna trump her with no Black Lives Matter information. She already knows Black Lives Matter. Get out of this parking lot. Why is it that anytime you put Karen anywhere near a car, she just doesn't know how to handle life? I don't know, but let's keep watching.
I can't believe this right now. I can't believe you. I can't believe your attitude. This is amazing.
Why are you here? Why
are you harassing me is what I want to know.
Because you have been sitting here, I've been watching.
Enjoying myself, right? Enjoying myself, huh?
Yeah, in this parking lot.
Enjoying the sunshine, just enjoying my business.
Good. Go about your business. Get your business ass.
Sweetheart, you just go enjoy your day. Look, your dog needs some water. Your dog needs some water. You need to give your pet some water.
Well, she can't figure out life right now.
You have a sticker. You don't belong here.
Oh, shit.
Hi, my name is Candy, and I don't like this guy.
Like, I don't even know where do we go from here, right? Like, this is why I'm saying I'm pretty sure it's drunk, right? I mean, it could be drugs. Y'all let me know. But I feel like this is some drunk Karening, okay? The paranoia could be drugs, but they could also still be drunkenness. And I feel like this is some drunk Karening we've got going on here. And then her inability to, like, gauge the impact of her actions, right? So she's like, I'm Candy. Like, she's good. She's good at nothing right now, okay? Really? Okay, let's keep on. She's a peach. Okay.
I fear this guy.
I'm fearing you, right?
She fears for her life, y'all. She feels for her life because this man is in her parking lot where she lives. In this parking lot. That's what she said. Okay, let's go.
Right now. Can you go back to your car, please, man?
Right? No, you just get out of here. This is my parking lot. You get your ass out of here.
Oh, shit.
Get out of here.
Oh, wow.
Get out of here.
Ma'am. Ma'am, what? Can you calm down? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
I don't like you. You might
is it my skin color?
You have been sitting here for more than an hour. You said that your mom lives here.
I've never understood why Karen can't understand the problem with this logic. Karen, if you don't like him and he is wrong because he has been sitting in your parking lot that you live in with your drunk self for an hour, the reason why you know that is because you and your drunk self and your dog were sitting in your car for an hour watching him. That means he's been here for at least as long as you've been there, but there's a good chance you were there before he got there. And now you're clocking him. And so you don't like him because he was in the parking lot for as long as you? He's not trustworthy because he was in the parking lot as long as you? Karen, get it together. Okay.
You said your mom lives in 911. There's no such thing as 911.
There's no such thing as 911. There's no. It's the way she's doing things. Like, super Denver Karen. Denver, y'all have bred some very special Karens, apparently. Let's go.
This is this black man harassing a white woman. Oh, yeah. Oh.
It don't look like it because I'm in my area and you're not in your area. Can you go in your whoa, come on now. Back up now, ma'am. Ma'am, please. Back up, ma'am.
What is she doing? Hold on. We have to watch the last part again. I can't even. Part 3 it just took the cake for me. Right, Biggie Boss? 911 is officially debunked. Listen, Rosalind, honestly, we should all feel sorry for Candy's dog right now because we don't know how long she's been standing there having the dog bake inside of that car. Probably windows aren't even down because she clearly can't think very clearly, nor can she stand still.
Mom lives here. You said your mom lives in 911. There's no such thing as 911.
That's such a paranoid bullshit. Let's see.
This is this black man harassing a white woman.
Where?
Oh. It don't look like it because I'm in my area and you're not in your area. Can you go in your whoa, come on now. Back up now, ma'am. Ma'am, please. Back up, ma'am.
Is she licking the glass officially? I don't know, babe. I don't know. I'm gonna say there's a 45% chance she was licking the glass, and then there's a 55% chance she was sticking out her tongue and is just not good at it. Probably again the drunkenness and the lack of coordination as a result. But okay. So far we have Don Teasy saying that ain't drunk, that is just American white. Biggie Boss said that the drunken Karen sounds like a martial art technique. Wait, it does. She does look like Tweety Bird, though. It's those legs, right? Like, there's something about Karen sometimes. I don't know. Like, lady, listen. Right, Vonna, you standing too close. Right? You know what I like? It's like that Dylon when they did I think they were mocking making of the band, like Dylon. And he's like, you're standing too close. And then that's how I felt about that. Like, why are you this close to my window? I'm pretty sure you must have COVID. You just have permanent COVID. Like, she seems like the type, right? Because she doesn't believe in, like, anything. I don't know. Okay. But y'all, we're going to get to the bonus Karen. Now, the bonus Karen I came across today, and it says that this was, now I don't know, because people lie on Reddit, right? But they said that they saw this on their way home, and I couldn't find the video anywhere else. So, it might be legit. All I'm going to tell you is she's from California. Wait, hold on. Is San Diego in California? Is that how that works? She's in San Diego.
That's California.
Which is in California. It is in California, right? Yeah, okay. I'm just checking. Okay, let's go. I'm not gonna say, I know he does spit hot fire. No, but I'm not gonna say anything else. It's so funny. It is so like, okay, let's go.
Not fucking touch me. I've already spoken with the supervisors and the manager.
That is our San Diego bus Karen, subway Karen. I'm not really sure 100% where she is, but she's obviously on public transportation. And to just let y'all know, she's on public transportation and they're bothering her because she failed to pay to be on the public transportation. That's what all this noise is about. You didn't pay. Now they're here saying you didn't pay. So either you got to pay or you need to get up. Because that's how public transportation works. Okay.
I tried to be nice to you. What the fuck, bitch? Don't fucking talk to me. No, I'm pissed off now.
You tried.
What the fuck? I'm just trying to fucking get home from fucking work. What the fuck is your problem? I ride this bus twice a fucking day, every fucking day. You're a fucking dick and get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my fucking face right now. I said don't touch me. You're keeping to fucking press me. I said leave me the fuck alone.
Let's decompress for a second. Okay. So right now, Karen is just trying to get home from work. And these jerks are preventing her from doing that in a way that is totally unpredictable. How could she ever have predicted that these people would come and harass her? I mean, come on. She's talked to the supervisors. She's talked to everybody. Okay. And all she's trying to do is get home from work. And how dare you disrupt her after her long, hard day at work? It's not like you have a job that you're currently in the middle of doing right now while you're stopping her from getting a free ride when it costs money for the public transportation. So the public transportation can do crazy little things like, I don't know, pay the bus driver, pay the security, I don't know, just put gas in, service the vehicles. But, you know, entitled Karen can never figure that kind of thing out. She never, ever can. I love sovereign citizens. It's like my favorite kind of citizen. Okay, let's keep watching.
No, I'm not. Touch me and there'll be a fucking problem. I'm not getting off the fucking bus. I'm already
touch me and I'll be a problem. It's like she's unaware that she's already a problem, but okay, let's keep going. Like,
fucking people touch me. You want to fight that fucking battle with me, bitch? Yes. You want to fight this battle with me? Do you? Yes. Sit the fuck down and back away from me. You're a puny little fucking man. I said don't fucking talk to me, and you didn't want to treat me with respect, and this is how you fucking approach me? I'm not gonna get off. So
I mean, she is gonna get off. This is what I was talking about on Grey Pill when they're saying, you know, me versus someone who was bigger or taller than me, would I be able to take that? And I said, like, listen, men's muscles are made for instant power. Women's muscles are not made for instant power. So even if overall I could say maintain a stronger reaction for longer than a man, let's say, a particular man, let's say you're shorter than me, whatever, he didn't work out, I do work out. Overall, he has more access to more instant power, which means guess what? And this is where she's getting a little too brave because she thinks, oh, he's shorter than me. It doesn't matter because he's still got the man muscle, and the man muscle is going to help him lift you and all of your entitlement up and off of the bus if he wants, right? The reason why she's still sitting there is because he's trying to convince her with words that she doesn't want to be physically removed, but she can be and she would be, right? I mean, but wait till you find out, y'all. Wait till y'all find out why she thinks this is all unfair. Just wait.
Be a fucking dick? Who the fuck else wants some more? I tried being nice and look at this. I tried being nice and look at now I'm mad. You want to cause a scene?
God.
You can't win, bro. I'm autistic. I'm smarter than you. I'm autistic. I am smarter than you. I can manipulate.
She's autistic. Therefore, she's smarter than you. Duh. Don't you know that about autistic people? They're automatically smarter than you. Yeah. Because everything about this behavior is just screaming genius level autistic. What? But that's not even the worst part, y'all. Not even the worst part. But let's listen to her tell us about how she can manipulate everybody. Okay, let's go.
I'm autistic. I'm smarter than you. I'm autistic. I am smarter than you. I can manipulate you out of the situation. I'm just trying to get home from work.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe she is autistic because it seems kind of stupid to tell someone that you can manipulate them out of this situation. It's almost like guaranteeing that even if you could, you're going to lose now because they're going to go out of their way to not give you your way no matter what. Right? Because you've now told them. And yeah, autistic people, they do sometimes lack the ability to understand the social repercussions of certain things. So, hey, maybe, I don't know. But I can tell you one thing is she's certainly not proving she's smarter than anybody. I'm not even sure she's smarter than a 5th grader. Okay, let's keep watching. For this genius autist.
Okay, I am going home. I am, because I can talk to a police officer who would love to hear my story too.
Oh.
No, because you could have just been nice. You could have just been nice at first, but you wanted to be a dick. So,
do you see how like she thinks she made ground somewhere? So now she's saying, oh yeah? But you're scared I'm gonna call the police on you. Yeah, you could have been nice, but now I'm gonna call the police and ruin your life. Like, I'm telling you, it's like Karen school. They go to school for it, right? Because they are the all-powerful, always in need of protection white woman. And so therefore, they know if I just cry assault, cry R word, whatever, right? That they're going to believe me and then I'll ruin your life. Like, it's like trained into them. It's scary. It's scary. Okay, let's see. What is going on?
look at it now. Look at this anger now. I was just minding my fucking business. You deserve this because you're a fucking asshole, obviously, by the way you fucking handle yourself. Obviously, you're not a good person.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, he's not a good person. By the way, he handles himself, standing there for I don't know what reason, tolerating her nonsense. Because Don Teasy was right earlier when he said just tase her. Because, yeah, all of this is a lot of this. Like, you're making a lot of noise. And I just feel like for everyone's peace, you could just be tased and brought off the bus now. Like, okay.
Withering a man. Back the fuck away. Step away. I do not want you this close to me. Step the fuck away. I asked you nicely. Now I'm not.
Like, why do you think you have the right to ask anyone if anything, Karen? Because right now you are literally violating the law. You decided to be on public transportation when you didn't pay for it. You don't have a right to be there. You don't have a right to private personal space. You don't. You don't get to tell the employees they have to back up off you now because they have to remove you because you're not removing yourself because you decided you don't want to pay. But it's not that she doesn't want to pay. It's that she can't. You're going to get the explanation. It's beautiful. It really is.
I'm asking you mean. Step the fuck away. Can you tell him to step the fuck away from me, please? I'm uncomfortable.
And?
I have done this for the past week and a half because I've explained to everyone twice a fucking day that
you're about to hear it, but I want y'all to notice that she just said she's done this for the last week and a half. So for a week and a half, she has been stealing transportation, right? Like that's what it's that. That's what she's done. And she's saying it like it's like a 1-up or a plus for her, but let's see why.
I have done this for the past week and a half because I've explained to everyone twice a fucking day that I can't afford to pay my fucking fare because I'm an independent woman in San Diego. So fuck you, bitch, and fuck y'all. Step the fuck away from me now.
Yeah, no, you know what? Let's just go back just a little. You just have to hear it again because it's impossible. No, we just have to listen to it one more time. I want y'all, if you missed it, this is what she's telling you. She's been doing this for a week, and why? Just remember.
I have done this for the past week and a half because I've explained to everyone twice a fucking day that I can't afford to pay my fucking fare because I'm an independent woman in San Diego. So fuck you, bitch, and fuck y'all. Step the fuck away from me now.
They're calling me Karen cause I make them nervous. Oh, fine, call me that, I'm Karen about good service. I'd like to speak to the manager. I'd like to speak to the manager.
What do you think, Zel?
Listen. That lady used independent woman wrong. Black women use it very differently than that. Like, hey, listen, you can't just say I'm an independent woman and that since I'm independent, y'all have to give me free fare on this trip. That is not very independent, Karen.
I'm just so like you're an independent. Like, I mean, I'm surprised she didn't say black woman. right? But I have had to explain this twice a day for the last week that I can't pay my fare because I'm an independent woman in San Diego. Like, are you missing what independent woman is about? Independent woman is I take care of my own, right? Shoes on my feet, I got it. Clothes I'm wearing, I bought it. Car I'm driving, I bought it because I depend on me if I want it, right? So you saying I can't afford my own bus fare because I'm an independent woman, no, it doesn't. Someone needs to explain, like, Black culture I guess it's Black culture, right? Or something. I don't know, because I'm just not sure. I think she missed a piece of it somewhere in there, which she thought that was great. But maybe it's her autism that tripped her up there. I don't know.
Biggie said,
right? Exactly, Biggie. Yeah, I'm independent. Oh my God. Cash at me. That's right, because I'm independent. Like, hey, we need to stop letting these people claim they're everything on TikTok for clout. You're autistic. You've got what's that girl with the time something, like, yo, listen.
She an independent woman living in San Diego. I felt like there was like a bad skit on one of the comedy shows that they used to have, like Sex in the City.
No, it was.
What's the black hair, the one that wasn't smart? I'm an independent woman in New York. That would probably be something she would say in 2023.
Dude, again, still not Florida. Honestly, I checked every single one of my stories because I felt like so many of them belong, like, in Florida, and yet somehow or another, no, it's all Denver, San Diego. Like, I don't know, man. The Karens are branching out. So y'all be careful. You might bump into a Karen in your neighborhood. And if you do, please film it and send it in. I'll be thatnews@gmail.com. Thank you.
Oh, we get the exclusive person. Biggie said he kicked all the crazy people out of Florida. Like, so that's why we ain't had no story. But listen, we happy to be back. We got a good laugh after some deep stories, but it's always good to laugh at the independent woman in San Diego because
I can't pay her bills. That's why she's an independent woman.
Like, listen, maybe you need to move out of San Diego and you can pay your life. Shout out to our black man that paid $3,000 rent every day.
Or maybe stop lying to yourself that you're an independent woman, because by definition you're very dependent, and that's okay.
She just need one of them red pill dudes to take care of her, and she'll be submissive.
Right? Dude, listen, you got red hair, red pill, you know what I mean? Just it'll be fine. And then you can keep telling him how independent you are as he pays your bills, and you pay him back in other ways. Anyway, but I'm glad that we got to have this discussion. I hope that y'all have a great weekend. Monday, we're kind of doing things a little different. Okay, we're gonna run through a bunch of different topics, all topics of discussion. Open the panel right away, whatever, so we can get into it. We can talk the good talk about stuff. We can present stuff if people want to bring extra stuff in there to discuss, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We really want to foster a level of intellectual and independent woman type discussion. So it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be great. We've got some really interesting things on the docket already coming up. Of course, as y'all know, you can always email us. I'll be thatnews@gmail.com if you have suggestions for news stories, for discussion topics, whatever. We love y'all for it. And thank you so much, everybody, for coming out. This is a great night. I think we had some issues at the beginning. I'm sure y'all noticed, but thank you for sticking around. I think overall it was a good relaunch day. Whatever you call
different
it.
Setup, different everything. So we just getting used to it, getting everything. Good show though. It was an amazing show. Thank y'all for coming.
And Zel is light skinned almost, so that's cool.
I'm doing my pinky doll. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to win some over. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Biggie. Everybody, we back. See y'all
You,
Monday.
Rosalind. Y'all all came out in great effect. Don Teasy being the comedic relief down there. Vonda, like y'all have been awesome. Thank you so much for coming out, supporting us, letting us know we are gonna have support through this 2023 cuffing season. Thank you very much. And yeah, see y'all on Monday. Yeah.
Yes, see y'all on Monday. Great show, discussion topics, some interesting discussion topics. Peace.
We're back. Cheers.